Hello and welcome to this live watch along here on Seconds Out. We are here for Rumble on the Rock. We are watching Fight Night over in Gibraltar. It is the rematch between Alexander Povetkin versus Dillian Whyte. Is it going to be revenge or repeat? Just before we talk about the boxing, we are going to watch some of the undercard fights as well, but I just want to introduce my guests joining me in the studio. I am Ali Drew, and joining me is the legendary trainer Don Charles, and we have heavyweight prospect Harry Armstrong. Guys, how are you?
We're very well. Well, I'm very well, and
I'm very, very well.
my fighter
here,
he's also very well, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, so you are a fighter and coach, really. So just talk to me about how long you've been working together and what's going on in the gym.
Well, it's a long story, but I'll make it very brief. Basically, this young man here is like not my biological son, but he's like a son to me. That's the relationship we have. I'm his coach, boxing coach. His father contacted me like literally 6 years ago.
2014.
Right? My goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 7 years ago
7
now.
years ago. And basically, and I took immediate liking to the young man. He was a boxer, and amateur boxer, and right through I monitored his progress and everything, and then with the view that if he makes the grade, then he's to become his professional coach. And he left. He's from Torquay. I'll let him tell you that. He's from Devon, a nice part of England, and he left home 3 years ago to pursue his professional boxing career, and I let him do the rest.
Yeah, so I met Don in 2014. First come up to spar Chisora when he was preparing for I think it was his second Fury fight. And we stayed in contact throughout. I come up, sparred Sam Sexton, sparred a couple of other Don's boxers. And then it was 2019, end of 2019, I moved up from Torquay in Devon to London to turn professional. Took a little while to get my pro license, but we got that. Made my debut just before the lockdown.
You got it in, you got it in just in time.
Yeah, 2 weeks today, I think it was just before. We've been training together ever since, so it's going very well.
Great, and obviously you've not been able to have a fight since then because we've been in lockdown and it's been a nightmare. Have you still been training? Have you still been in and out the gym?
I've been in the gym as much as I've been allowed to be in the gym. I turned my back garden into a gym. And obviously a lot of it is just running and cycling and staying fit, which you can do anyway. I haven't stopped training for the entire year. Made a lot of progress in other areas outside of fighting, a lot of strength work, a lot of conditioning work, and built on that so that as soon as I can fight again, there's nothing stopping me. I fight often, fight fast, fight regular.
And is there any potential fight news, Don, for Harry?
Yes, there will be, because he's a prospect, and obviously being with myself, I'm well linked with the major promoters, so the view is to get him signed up and get him going, fast track him. He's a good heavyweight, Within 18 months, we believe he can be 18 to 24 months. We believe he'll be a heavyweight British champion. That's how good he is, and I wouldn't touch him. I wouldn't train him if he wasn't of that caliber.
Exciting. Hopefully we can get you a fight soon when
Very soon,
things
as soon as
return
possible.
to normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully.
Definitely.
Right, back to the boxing that's happening tonight. So obviously we're going to be covering some of the undercard fights from over in Gibraltar. They have got an audience over there, a crowd. We don't know how many. I think they said 500 originally, but it looks like there's a few more there. I'm not really sure, but
That's promising.
They've got fans, so that is good to see. But yeah, the undercard fights we will be covering is Fabio Wardley against Eric Molina, heavyweight contest over 10 rounds. Ted Cheeseman versus JJ Metcalf for the vacant British super welterweight title. And then I think the fight...
Little things we've been doing, and it's just made stuff.
Professional debut. So there's it's quite a good night of boxing. This fight obviously is headlined by Povetkin and Whyte. We all know what happened in the first one in fight camp last summer. For anyone who doesn't know, I don't know how you wouldn't know, but if you don't, obviously Whyte ended up getting knocked out in round number 5, having dominated the fight, really. This fight's been postponed quite a few times. I think this is the 4th attempt at the fight to happen. Povetkin had COVID. There's been a lot of changed locations. It's now happening tonight, thank God, in Gibraltar. But how excited are you that this rematch is finally happening?
Yeah, obviously you have to commend Whyte for asking Eddie to make this rematch, because a lot of guys would stay well away from a guy who, the type of knockout it was, is quite a daunting one. And you have to, like I said, admire Whyte's bravery to summon this rematch.
Yeah, because I think as soon as he sort of regained consciousness, almost, he said he wanted the rematch and he wanted it done. I think straight from then as well, he's been in Portugal training. So he's been in training camp for about 20 weeks, I think. It's, because of all the postponements. Do you think that it's almost good timing for him, Harry?
I think it's the perfect time. I think the first rematch would have been a bit too soon, simply because of the damage done in the knockout. And I think it's just that extra time to work on everything he got wrong in the fight and work on the things he got right in the fight, learn, develop, and hopefully come into this fight with a better mentality to try and get the job done. I think we'll get it done a bit quicker this time. I think it'll be round 3, round 4 knockout.
And obviously we've got to explain the reason that it's happening over in Gibraltar is because Whyte was training in Portugal, which then got red list sort of status, so that he couldn't easily travel back to the UK without having to quarantine in a hotel. So it just made it easier, I think, for the fight to happen over there. So everyone's uprooted and gone over there, which it looks like it's been a great fight week for them. The sun's shining, and it looks quite good over there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Guys, make sure leave us some comments on your predictions, what you think of the fights, anything you want to ask us, just leave your comments. I've got the computer here so we can have a look at that. Someone's asked already, when is Campbell Hatton fighting? I think he's actually on now. If we just change it on there. So obviously we will, if Campbell's on now, we'll be talking about that. Basically it's a highly anticipated pro debut for him. He's trained by his uncle Matthew Hatton, who's obviously a great fighter in his own right. His dad, Ricky Hatton, multi-weight world champion. Just talk to me about the sort of pressure that Campbell must be feeling prior to this professional debut.
Yeah, that comes with the package, in the sense that you're born into things. You're born into the royal families. In this case, he's born into a superstar. Britain's idol, so it's a massive pressure on a young man's shoulders. You could liken that to the Conor Ben, Chris Eubank Jr. So these things, they happen, but you know what? These kids are born into it. Yeah, so it's not like they suddenly decided, I want to be a fighter. They've grown with it. So yes, there will be obviously pressure to do. It's a big name. You have to represent, there is pressure there, but I think they've been schooled to be able to deal with it.
Yeah, because do you think that, I don't know what the decision behind the fact that Ricky isn't his main coach, that Matthew Hatton, his uncle, maybe the dynamics work a little bit better, but I think that they're both going to be in his corner and they're both going to be there. What are you expecting out of Campbell for his career, Harry?
I expect him to go quite far. I think it'll be a slow start. I think he'll need quite a lot of learning fights to begin with, simply because he's still very young. He didn't have a massive experience as an amateur, but I think all the experience he's gained in the gym, sparring with the pros, training with the pros, will stand him in great stead for his career. I just think he'll need a year, 18 months of constant fights, every 6 weeks if possible, depending on coronavirus. But yeah, just a really good, solid 10, 12 fights, and then I think he'll be ready to really start doing some damage.
Yeah, because he's been given great opportunities. You know, he's signed with Matchroom. I think his management is Anthony Joshua's management team. Obviously he's got, you know, Ricky and Matthew guiding him. So he's got everything lined up to be successful, hasn't he?
Most definitely. I mean, again, he's privileged in the sense that what he's born into. But he couldn't ask for a better infrastructure. Like Dad's the manager, co-trainer. Matthew, his uncle, is his trainer. You know, you just said about 258 management also being involved. Then you got the Eddie Hearn Sky platform. It doesn't come better than that. Yeah. So all he's got to do, perform, get on there and perform. So I think, listen, he'll do good.
Yeah, well, hopefully it looks like it's going to be, they're just doing a sort of promo video for him, and that fight should be happening anytime soon. But I just want to talk to you about a competition that we have. So you would have probably seen that the Gibraltar government have commissioned a special £2 coin with featuring the fighters, so Povetkin and Whyte on there. And we've got 2 that we're giving away.
Wow.
So basically, if you want to be entered into that competition, all you have to do is basically subscribe to DAZN. So we're going to show you a little video that's going to have the link that you need to click to subscribe. So if you just watch this video, and then the link is in the description.
In October 2020, we made history at the Southmorton Boxing Club by staging the world's first behind-closed-doors white-collar boxing show. We got over 10,000 views on the night across 103 countries. Now we're bringing the live rumble back, bigger and better than before. Follow the fighters in the build-up and vote on the night for your favourites. See all the thrills, spills and skills from the best in white-collar boxing, live and free at the KO Cup.
Guys, it's the Blonde Bomber. Make sure you guys tune into my world title fight. I'm fighting for the WBA Bantamweight World title on April 10th against Shannon Courtney in the UK. You can check it out on DAZN and Sky Sports. Don't miss it. It's going to be epic.
So as you saw there, that's the competition. So basically subscribe to DAZN, and then using that link, and then you'll automatically be entered into the competition to win one of the two £2 coins featuring the fighters. But the video there was showing Rumble Live 2, which is a white collar event. So I just want to talk to you guys about it. Obviously, I think the one time we did a watch along, it was the first one was in the background playing. So basically it's a white collar boxing event. You can find it on the KO Cup YouTube channel if you want to see all about the information on it. But just basically to talk about that event and the sort of white collar boxing route. Fabio Wardley, actually, interestingly, came up through the white collar boxing route. So that's his sort of background. Just talk to me about, you know, what you think of sort of white collar boxing and the fact that Fabio Wardley now is on this stage, having come from that route.
Yeah, like I said, you know, when it first started, this white collar thing, let's say it started probably 16 years ago. I remember it very well. It was an American concept. All the office workers in New York, the city boys, fancied themselves to fight each other on underground car parks. Hence why it's called white collar, because they're all like city workers. And when it came to England, it was the organization of it. It wasn't monitored in the way it's monitored today. Yeah. So all the dangers one could encounter it's been made safer, basically. Provided it's been made safer, which it is in England, I'm very pro it, because men need to do this. Men fight. That's what we born into this world. We fight. We're gladiators, and we've always have been. So it's an outlet. It's a release. Guys who would have wanted to have boxed in their life, this is their opportunity. I never got opportunity to get involved, but this is their opportunity to get involved to the degree people like your Fabio Wardleys, there's been a few boxers of today who are professionals who came through that system. Yeah, so
I think Jordan Thompson said he did.
Yes,
a bit of stuff as well.
yes, he came through that the unlicensed circuit. So, like I said, it's provided it's been monitored and all the safety aspects of it implemented. I think is a great thing.
Do you know much about the sort of white collar boxing side of things?
Yeah, it was around a lot when I was an amateur. I never had any experience with myself, but since I've turned pro, a lot of the guys that I spar have come from white collar backgrounds, and they're generally pretty much tougher in general than the amateur boys that are coming through. I don't know whether that's because it is unlicensed or whether it's the setup of it. But yeah, there is a lot of good quality boxers that are turning professional now that have come from the white collar and doing very well, like Fabio Wardley is.
Yeah, it's interesting because it does divide opinion. You know, people think that you should either be a boxer and that's it. If you not go in no grey areas, either you are a boxer and you go down amateur and professional route, or not at all, really. But yeah, what we saw when we watched it the first time for the Rumble Live, the first one, it looked very good. It looked like to be in safe environment, and there was some good fights actually. There was knockdowns, and it was entertaining. It was very good. So if you want to see that, it's on the KO Cup YouTube channel, so you can see it on there. And we're just looking now. I think Campbell Hatton is ready to come out. I think if we listen in, they'll just be introducing. Yeah, so they're bringing out his opponent first. And make sure you leave us some of your comments, predictions. Yeah, so already over in Gibraltar, there's been a few upsets. We saw the fight that just happened. Chris Congo was a bit of an upset. He lost, which I don't think was expected, but a good fight from what we saw.
Yeah, it was definitely a good fight, and I think the experience. Michael McKinson's had more fights and boxed, I think, 3 times the amount of rounds. So I think that experience won him that fight. He was a bit sharper, more prepared for the tough fight, and he'd done the distance a few more times.
Yeah, he looked very impressive during his fight. So people just asking what time the fights are. Campbell Hatton's on now. Obviously, we don't know exact timings. They think the main event's going to be around 10:30, I think, which is what it normally is. And we're just introducing Campbell Hatton now. Yeah, someone asking. Campbell Hatton is doing his ring walk now, and then he will be fighting. A lot of love for Don as well on the page.
Thank you. Thank you.
Someone has says, can you ask Don Charles who he is currently training? Other than obviously Harry here.
Yeah, we have the gentleman here, Harry Armstrong, a heavyweight. I have Dennis, who's actually in the studio with us, coming through, next champion. And I got my son George Fox, heavyweight.
We've had George on the show.
Yep. Got Jordan Thompson.
Brilliant.
You've also
We've had him on the show.
Cruiserweight. And that's about it for now. And watch this space because they're all champions, An
exciting stable you've got.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. Like I said, I'm sure every trainer will tell you the same thing. The question I ask them when they first come to meet me, what do you want out of this? What do you want to... And, everybody wants to be a world champion, and that's what I'm in it for. Yeah, and I've got potential world champions in my camp right now. So watch this space.
Very exciting. What's it like training around the sort of the people you're in the gym with? Because we've had for these lives we've had George here and Jordan has been here as well. You're very very motivated and very ambitious.
For me, it's fantastic because we're all, even Jordan, although he's a cruiserweight, he's a big cruiserweight.
Yeah.
So we can all spar together, we all train together, we can all move around together, learn off each other. So I couldn't ask for a better set of campmates than what I've got. Everyone's skillful in the gym. Even Dennis, he's immensely skillful. So there's no sluggers in there. They're all technicians. So you can't do anything except learn and improve on a daily basis. It's brilliant. I love it.
Yeah, it's good. Someone's asked Don, how is your relationship with Chisora at the moment? Love from North London. You're a proper legend.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, like I said, he put me on the map, you know. I always owe him. He's one of my sons. All my boxers are my sons, not biological sons.
George will be like, hang on.
Yeah, he's got brothers. They're all his brothers. They're all his brothers. It's one big family. And like I said, there is my first boxing son, because he put me on the map, and that will always be the case. So I love him. We're no longer working together, but that's the way it's written in terms of destiny. That's the way it was written. You know, I've done my job. We've parted, and I hope he goes on to carry on achieving.
Yeah, because you did the live when we did his fight with Usyk, I think.
Yeah.
Rhiannon Wootton has said, hi, Harry, from the Tucker family in Wales. Don't know if you know them or they're just saying hello.
Indeed.
Hey guys. They're saying hello.
Are you enjoying it?
Someone's put, Harry, we love you. A lot of support.
A lot of
love.
The late Cilla Black, who I love. a lot of love.
Yeah, I have some fantastic supporters.
So yeah, Campbell Hatton now just getting ready to get started in that first bell. The spitting image of Ricky Hatton, it is scary.
Cunning resemblance.
If he fights anything like him, it'll be a special career.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. It doesn't fight like Ricky.
There's just no question that that's his son. Absolutely none.
This one is the knockout. The early night.
Joshua Langford says, my ribs still hurt from Harry Armstrong.
What have you been doing?
They want sparring, they get sparring.
So just watching him, what sort of style would you say compared to Ricky? You see him?
I would say he's more of a boxer than his father. Ricky was more of a pressure fighter, come forward, bobbing and weaving, ferocious body puncher. But I think from what I've seen, a minute I've seen of this young kid, he puts punches together very well. And I think he's more, that's famous Ricky Hatton shot, left hand to the body, left hook to the body. It looks like that's Ricky's trademark. He's got that.
Trademark.
I think he's got a bit
shots.
more. No disrespect to the great Ricky Hatton. I think this kid's more of a boxer.
I think he's got a bit more defence already.
Yeah.
He's catching and countering shots nicely already, which is impressive for his debut.
Shot. That's that famous shot, that left signature shot. Oh, beautiful.
And again.
Back on the jab. Back on the jab.
Yeah, because he's doing well and not rushing.
Oh, there it is again.
It's the first round, and he must be having a lot of pent up energy. He must have
100%.
Energy and a lot of nerves.
Yeah.
That's that shot again. Oh, there it is again. Oh.
Apollo Sports Club have said Harry's biggest fan, Annie, age 7, from Torquay, is tuned in. And a little wave.
Hey Annie, hope you're well. Catch up with you next weekend.
Don, what do you think AJ and Fury fight? What do you think of that?
What do I think?
Yeah, I think we've asked you before, but
What the
yeah.
outcome?
I think that's probably what they mean. Yeah, what do you think the
It's
outcome
one
will
of
be?
those fights. It's a question of who implements their tactics on the night. Will determine the outcome. SJ has what it takes to knock out Fury, but easier said than done. Fury is very unpredictable, very, very hard to fight against. It's a question of who's on their game. What game plan they bring determines who wins that.
Yeah, I think that's the most 50-50 fight of any I've seen for a long, long time.
I would second that
depending
opinion.
on the day, you change your mind, and it's just it's so close.
I think on paper it's 50-50, but I think on the night it'll be 90-10. I think either Fury or Joshua will just take it from round one, and there'll be a very, very obvious winner.
Which I think that's a shame. That it's, I almost hope it plays out where, because it's 50-50, it is you each round which one won,
Yeah.
and that's how you want it. You want it to be close and a really hard fight. But I do agree that if whoever's on their game that night will dominate.
Game plan. Whoever comes with the right game plan. Like, for instance, the Fury Wilder second fight, Fury and his coach came up with a game plan that worked straight away.
Yeah.
It'll be one of those fights. If Joshua comes with the right game plan, he'll be victorious. And I know it's a cliche, but that is really the type of fight it is.
It's exciting. I just hope it does everything well and it goes ahead this year.
It will do.
I just hope
boxing
so.
world needs that fight to happen.
Dave Armstrong has said, looking slick with that hair. So proud, Mum and Dad in Devon.
Thanks, guys.
So much love.
That's his biological dad.
Yeah, I know. Dave's can have something to say.
I've claimed him.
Just into the second round of the
Oh, dear.
Campbell Ruiz fight.
Oh, dear. Referee's going to have to stop this.
Yeah, Campbell's
Start to dig in now.
showing his dominance in this.
Campbell just took half a step back.
Yeah.
Just made his work just a tiny bit cleaner. All these punches would be landing, and he'd have them out of there.
Oh, dear.
Just like that.
Big up all the proud parents. Exactly.
Oh. Space. Give yourself
Step
space,
back.
like you said,
Yeah.
little half step.
Step back and there'll be room for the body shots then.
Dave says, Mum keeps screaming at the screen. She thinks you can see her. Give her a wave. Go on, give your mum a wave. He'll be wanting to impress and
Of course.
make
Most
a
definitely.
statement.
Yeah,
tonight.
I think I'm impressed for a debutant.
And he is only 20. He's very young.
Exactly,
Yes, his opponent's only been stopped once before.
Yeah, you could see he's a tough guy.
Yeah, he's a tough opponent.
But if Campbell, it's going to be so hard.
Yeah, because they're so
Because
similar.
the
It
fa-
is.
And also the father is such an icon, British
Yeah.
boxing icon. If he sustains an attack, the referee will stop it.
Just looking in his corner, I don't actually think Ricky's in his corner. I think Matthew
No.
Hatton's there.
Yeah.
But I don't think Ricky's
there it
actually
is
in his
again.
corner.
Just a simple 1-2 will get rid of this
Yeah.
guy. If he stands back,
1-2 left to the body. Just create that little bit of room for his work.
yeah, you're right. I don't think Ricky is there.
He's
No,
sat
he's
ringside.
not.
I've seen him earlier.
Yeah, do you think that that's a sort of decision deliberately that they've made for Ricky to sort of step back and let Matthew is is Campbell's coach, but do you think, why do you think they've done that?
I think it's to take a bit of pressure off of Campbell. I think without his dad being there in the corner, because Dad's always going to be very excited, more excitable than Matthew Hatton. So I think it just gives Campbell a bit of breathing space, a bit of room to not have his dad down his throat. Not that his dad would be down his throat in a negative way. I just think it takes that pressure away from him and enables him to become his own person. The commentators will talk about Campbell, not about Ricky. It'll be more about Campbell, and it's his career now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree with that. It's for exactly the same reasons Harry was saying. Yeah, I'm glad he did. I'm glad he actually opted to do that. To give the kid a breathing space to become his independent.
Yeah, because although it's a great legacy, and the fact that he's Ricky's son will never not be spoken about, but he wants to make his own name in the sport and get there in his own right. He doesn't
100%.
just want it to be because of his dad. So into the third round now, third round of 4.
He's got to move his head in between when he comes back. He's coming.
Yeah, he's got to think about what's coming back to him.
Yeah.
In the first 30 seconds of every round, his opponent comes out flying at him and throws punches, but you can almost take that first 30 seconds off and just move, avoid punches. And we know his opponent's going to take the rest of the round off, and it's Hatton's to win then.
Good. I like to see that attempt. Oh, good leading left uppercut.
Mighty Villain has said it doesn't want to dazzle him with one of his Hawaiian shirts. Ricky's been been outrageous with the shirts this week.
Yeah. Oh, there he
is
goes.
Campbell up on points? Yes, he
Most
is.
definitely.
He is definitely. He's won every round so far. Definitely. Yeah, so they've just said Ricky Hatton was a granddad at 39.
Wow.
Yeah, Campbell had his daughter when he was 17.
I think Campbell's got the trait from his dad to sort of fall in with his head, possibly just a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Some of these shots, if he just...
There
we go. He just sat back a little bit on that one and just found the home brilliantly.
It's crowding that shot. Move your head now. Boom. Good.
There we go.
Yeah, so Ruiz has cut.
Oh.
Wallaby King, you're welcome.
And Campbell just needs to take a little breather, just use his
That's
feet
right.
now, just
Yeah,
to get
yeah.
in and out, avoid...
Throwing too many punches.
Yeah.
Power punches. Power punches tire you out.
he's
And
starting to turn, he's been
for a
caught with-
debutant, the occasion, he really wants to impress like you would, but he should really, like you said, take a breather, use the ring, let the guy come onto shots,
Yep.
and stop throwing power. He's loading up on every shot, which is why he's behaving in the way the body language is.
It's not slowed
He's
down.
expended a
just
lot,
little
too
bit.
much energy.
Oh,
Look,
yeah.
look, and this is boxing. Obviously, the other kid is well travelled, and he really has to be careful here now because this round is actually a close round. He's still winning the round, but he really needs to tidy it up. Stop looking for the stoppage because that's what he's going for. It's obvious.
He looks very tired as well, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
because he's throwing too many power shots.
Got one round to go. Yeah, I think he's pushing for that stoppage. That's what he wants, you know, from his debut.
Yeah.
But he does that. In doing that, he has to be careful. He doesn't.
He does, be careful he doesn't walk onto anything.
Yeah.
Because although he's fighting a journeyman, they're still dangerous. They're still in there. They're still throwing punches back.
So he's got one more round.
Tough guy, the
Yeah,
opponent.
Ruiz is.
There's a lot of fighters,
very
traveling fighters from abroad. They would have thought, you know what, I mean, to hide into nothing, you know, just
Yeah.
pull out. So credit to the opponent. He's there.
Yeah, he's tough.
He hasn't come to lie down.
How long until the main event? We think the main event will be about 10:30.
Box, use the ring. Use the ring. Keep your chin down.
What's happening with the footwork and positioning? What's the footwork like?
What he needs to do, I'm sure he's got decent footwork, because I've seen him training, but he has to go back to basic fundamentals. He's just wants to so badly make a statement, which I'm sure the corner would have told him, you've won every round, stay away from this kid, use ring craft, and he then will the opponent will then walk onto shots.
Yeah.
That's what I would be telling him if I was in his corner. But obviously he's determined to get a stoppage.
Yeah, he's looking very tired in this
This
round.
opponent, from what his record suggests, he's only been stopped once. So he's obviously a guy who can take punishment. And he's really taking good hammering here. But he's still there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been hit with every shot you can imagine in the boxing book.
Yeah, and he's
And
still
there.
going. Yeah.
So your sensible thing to do right now, just get the win and learn. Stop looking for that stoppage, because you might end up getting stopped yourself from
Because
exhaustion.
he's looking impressive as it is. He doesn't need the
Absolutely.
stoppage to
Absolutely,
to
but
impress.
Obviously, he's a stubborn. He looks like he's stubborn.
Just like his
Oh.
father.
Just like his father. Like father, like son.
Who's up next? I think it's Ted Cheeseman versus JJ Metcalf next for the vacant British super welterweight
Good
title.
shot. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. 3 more punches and he'll be done. The referee should dive in. Open up, although you're tired.
A minute left.
Oh, beautiful left hook. Semi-uppercut.
Harry, have you got a date for your next fight?
Oh.
I
Simon
haven't
Mann.
got a date. I'm hoping July. July would be nice. July or September.
Hopefully with fans by
Hopefully
then.
we're fans, yeah.
Hopefully.
Ideally, yeah. There we go. Brilliant body shot from Campbell. Shot of the fight.
Can he do it?
Yeah,
30
he's going down.
seconds.
30 seconds
30
left.
Yes.
to go.
Referee will dive in. Come, open up
Go
now.
on, Campbell. Oh, he's very tired.
Step
He's
back.
looking
Now,
exhausted.
put 3 punches together and he's
There we go.
exhausted.
And again.
He's exhausted.
Oh,
He
the
does,
other
have,
guy
to,
loaded
he
up.
does
too.
have to be careful.
Yeah. I think the other guy deserves to survive this round. As a neutral, I think he's done enough to survive this and not get knocked out.
Who's winning? Campbell Hatton is definitely winning. He's won every round. So he's won that. So that's his pro debut done. Looked good.
He'll learn a lot from that. Had he knocked the opponent out, then he'll get into the thing, false sense of security of knocking people out. And then when you don't knock them out, you start to panic. So
Yeah.
I'm glad in a way that he hasn't stopped this guy. Very tough, durable opponent, game opponent. And I think it's a very, very good matchmaking, and I think it's a very good learning curve for the debutant.
Yeah, and he won every round, and he looked good.
He won the fight clearly, and I think the nerves and the pressure of it being his debut and being who he is, I think will have eaten into his fitness quite a lot. So I think by the time he gets around to his second fight, the nerves of his debut will be gone. He'll know what he's doing. He knows what he's got to do. And I think having that extra bit of fitness, because the nerves aren't there, it will have the extra things to put extra pressure on and get the stoppage.
Yeah, because that opponent has only been stopped once before, so he doesn't get stopped easily. And he was there. He came to fight. He came to put up a good fight, and he did. But Campbell looked impressive.
100%. Oh, what a shot.
Body shots are giving me chills from memories of watching Ricky Hatton for many years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ricky's ringside,
Yeah.
watching on. We're just waiting for the Campbell to be announced the winner. And what the scorecards will be, presumably every round to him. In fact, it's not scorecards, is it? It's just the judge. It's just
It'll
the
be a judge.
referee.
Just
yeah.
the referee
Just the
scoring it,
referee,
yeah.
yeah. He does look exhausted, though.
Oh, yeah, he put a lot into
He
that.
put everything
Put a lot
there.
of work into that. So I'd like to know what his punch count was.
40 to 36 every round. Campbell's got the win. Job done.
Job done.
It will be interesting to see how many fights they give him and he can get. Obviously, it's difficult at the moment. I guess normally he'd be wanting quite a lot of fights, but it's not the way it's working at the moment.
It might not work that way, but I think with him being a debutant and needing probably a couple of 4-rounders before he moves up to 6 rounds, I think there's no reason why they can't add him on to the undercard of most of the shows they've got coming up.
We've got Seconds Out Danny Flexen joining us now. So he's coming on. Let me just flick the screen. It's always fun having Danny Flexen on. Hi, Danny.
So you've set the bar too high already. It's always fun.
It's always good
I've
having
got to
you
live
on.
up to it now.
How are you? And what did you think of Campbell Hatton?
Yeah, I thought it was all right, for a debut. I think he suffers from the fact that there's been so much hype about it. It's not his fault, is it, who his dad is? But, he was trying very, very hard to get the stoppage against a kind of fellow novice. Fair play to him, but I think he needs building up slowly on undercards and smaller shows, maybe not on box office shows going forward. But, it's still very early days and there's plenty of potential there to work with.
Yeah, because I suppose it's unusual that someone would get their pro debut on a pay-per-view card and higher up. They'd normally be the first on, but it's all. There's been a lot of publicity around him, and it's put a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah, it can't have been easy for him. He said all along he's been relaxed about it and he'll be fine. But it's easy to say that, and then when the lights are there, obviously no crowd. That's probably helped a little bit, but
there
it's
is
still
some
tough.
crowd. There is
Small, 500 people, isn't it?
Yeah, is there 500?
So,
is there 500?
Oh, I don't know, but that's what they were projecting beforehand.
Yeah. They may have snuck a few.
But yeah, I mean, it's tough for him. It's a big occasion, and his dad's there, living legend. Not only is he going to be compared to him, but he's actually there watching him from the front row as his manager as well. His uncle, who was European champion, he knows all about being in his brother's shadow anyway from his own career. He's in the corner training him. So it's just, there's a lot of pressure on his young shoulders.
And what do you make of the fight night as a whole? We've seen a few upsets already, but what do you make of this whole fight night over in Gibraltar?
Yeah, Viva Nick Webb. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, I hadn't seen loads of Eric Pfeiffer, but he was a good amateur. And I was surprised to see Nick Webb just absolutely demolish him. But well done to Michael McKinson as well. That was a great win over Chris Congo. I know the judges had it close. The commentators seemed to think it was very close. I didn't think it was very close. Thought McKinson won it well. Congo's a really good fighter as well. It's a very good win for McKinson. I know he's higher rated anyway by the WBO, but I think Congo was the bookie's favourite. He was 2-5 on. Really good win. And I think he won the last 2 rounds to make sure as well, which is always an impressive thing. So I already had him ahead, but he wasn't sure, obviously, whether he was winning or not, and he stamped his authority at the end. But yeah, it's been good so far, and we've still got, arguably the 2 best fights to come in Cheeseman Metcalf, which could be the fight of the night, 50-50 on paper, and Dillian Whyte. I know Fabio Wardley's on before the main event as well, but I expect him to, pretty much have it his own way with Eric Molina. But yeah, main event, Dillian Whyte, Povetkin, anything could happen.
Yeah, because the British title fight with Ted Cheeseman, JJ Metcalf, very, very close fight, very hard to call.
Yeah. I mean, it's an excellent fight. Metcalf is the older man, but significantly less experienced at this level. Cheeseman's been in with the cream of the domestic crop. He fought for the European title where he was outclassed, I think it's fair to say, against Sergio Garcia, but had some issues in his personal life at the time, which he's now recovered from or rebounded from. So we've seen a better Ted Cheeseman in his last couple of fights. Looked really good, beating Sam Eggington in fight camp last year. And then Metcalf only recently has come to prominence, won the Commonwealth title, but has been inactive throughout his career. He's a Frank Warren Queensberry fighter, but appearing on this Matchroom show. Will that be a factor when it comes to the judging and that kind of thing? We've seen a lot of controversy in the last few months about British officiating. So let's hope that doesn't rear its ugly head again. But they're both aggressive box fighters, so it shouldn't, I don't want to put a jinx on it, but it should be exciting. I'd be amazed if it wasn't entertaining.
And then, obviously, the main event we have to talk about. Do you think that it's going to be an exciting fight? Do you think that it's going to be Dillian Whyte dominating again like he did until the knockout last time? How do you see it sort of going in comparison to the last fight?
I think Whyte will be a lot cagier this time around early on, because I think he'll know that he dominated, but he didn't finish the job, and he got caught with a punch that he didn't see coming. And I think he'll have been told to be a lot more circumspect, to keep it at mid-range or distance rather than get involved at close quarters until later on in the fight. In recent years, Povetkin at this age, we've seen him start to tire in the second half of fights against Joshua, against Michael Hunter more recently. And he can struggle. And Dillian Whyte's a proven 12-round fighter. So I think, and he's closer to his physical prime than Povetkin, I would say, as well. So I think if he plays it relatively safe, I mean, Dillian Whyte's never going to be a safety-first fighter. But if he keeps it relatively safe for the first 4 to 6 rounds and then starts to come on later, I think he'll be okay. But I don't think he can take too many risks against Povetkin. We saw, last year just how dangerous he can still be.
Guys, do you have any response to any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I've listened intently. Hi, Danny.
Hi, Don. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Literally everything you said there on point. It's a patient game for Dillian. I actually spoke to him yesterday morning, and exactly what you said there. He's a proven 12-round fighter. He should be the fresher man. I must say I haven't seen him in this type of condition for a long time. Living out in Portugal obviously has done him a lot of good. Remarkable how he looks. I spoke to him yesterday, and his mind is in a good place. You have to admire him for taking this rematch, because he could have easily gone elsewhere, but he wants his position back. I understand why it really is the only fight for him to take where people take him serious again, So you have to admire him for that, to taking that fight. This rematch, immediate rematch with a very dangerous, well-traveled, well-experienced Olympic gold medalist boxer in the name of Povetkin. But I really do believe if he approaches it in the same what you just said there, Danny, take your time, but be, like you said, keep it mid-range. Don't allow him into that territory where he could be effective. Povetkin puts, I call him the White Holyfield. He's similar to the way Evander Holyfield puts punches together. Not very many heavyweights put combinations together. He's one of those who can put 2-3 punches in one succession. For that reason, he's always going to be dangerous in that type of territory where he comes inside beyond the jab. Okay, so Dillian's duty tonight, if I was coaching him, is to don't allow him use your footstep, but let him walk onto things. And if he approaches it sensibly, smartly, I will see a late stoppage from Dillian Whyte.
Hi, Danny.
Hi, mate. How you doing?
I'm very well.
I thought, blimey, George Fox has changed.
That's my other son, Danny.
Yeah.
That's my other son.
I agree with yourself and Don in Dillian needing to be patient, and he is 12-round proven. But I think from a spectator's view, I'd like to see the angry Dillian come back. I'd like to see the aggression. I'd like to see the hunger. Because I think Povetkin was there in the first fight to be taken. So I think if he comes out, he has to be incredibly smart. He has to stay switched on and box incredibly well. But he's improved a ton since, say, the Joshua fight. But I think if he comes out with his new boxing ability and his anti-Joshua fight aggression, I think we're in for a 2, 3, 4 round fight stoppage.
What do you think about the change in
favour? Yeah.
What do you think about the change in training camps? I mean, obviously it was before the last Povetkin fight. It's not just happened, but he left Mark Tibbs, who he'd been with for ages. Mark got a lot of credit for the improvements in Dillian Whyte. Now he's with Xavier Miller. For this rematch, Harold Knight has been brought in as an extra assistant trainer in the corner. What do you make of that? What sort of impact do you think that will have?
I think he's being clever. I think he's learning from as many coaches as he can. He's picking up everything that he's happy with from one coach and moving on to another coach and then picking up more. And I think being out in Portugal has just done him the world of good. He's in the warm weather all the time. It's always easier to train when it's warm and it's not miserable and raining. he's got a very good setup over there. I've spoken to Super Yusuf, who fought earlier tonight quite a lot, and he spent a lot of time last year over in their camp, and their camp sounds wonderful, to be honest. Big private gym, hot weather. So I think he's learning and learning fast. So I think he's doing the best he can do for himself, really.
Yusuf had a really good win earlier, didn't he? I didn't see it. I think it was on the Facebook portion, but he beat Kane Baker, didn't he? Apparently looked really good.
Yeah,
he looked
stopped
fantastic,
him.
incredibly strong.
Yeah,
he
he
looked
stopped
very
him.
fit. He didn't look out of place at all. He looked like he belonged there. It was a very, very good win for him.
So what are we thinking, guys? Cheeseman, Metcalf. How are we weighing this one up? I'm going to sit on the fence and let you guys do the predictions.
I'm going to sit on the fence also.
Yeah, I'm
It's
not.
getting a bit cramped on here.
I'm not a massive fan of Ted Cheeseman, purely based on the approach of boxing. This has not been disrespectful. It's just exactly how I say it. Yeah, he blocks punches with his head, and for that reason, I'm going to go for the other fella, because you need to learn. Boxing is not all about offense. Yeah, it's about defense plays a big part. And for me, Ted is a great fighter, but if he's going to weigh and address the defensive issues, then there's many fights he could have won if he learned how to move his head and not block punches with his forehead.
How do you see?
What do you think, Harry?
Yeah, I feel quite the same, really. I think he has shown improvements in his last 2 fights, and his boxing is getting better, but he can't afford to keep having these wars and using his face as defence, because his career will be very short and very painful.
So what are your predictions on it? Because me and Danny are on the fence. We can't have any more on the fence.
The opposition.
The fence will collapse.
JJ Metcalf.
JJ Metcalf. I don't know too much about him. I'm going to go for him purely because I've seen Ted so many times and nothing will change. He gets involved in too many unnecessary tear-ups and he blocks punches with his forehead. And we don't teach that. That's not how you do boxing. Yeah.
And I'm going to go with Ted just to wind up Don.
Wind up already.
Danny, thank you very much. Hopefully you'll come on and join us again later.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good time, guys, and see you soon.
Thanks.
Okay, Danny.
Enjoy the boxing.
Yeah, we'll do.
We'll just put the boxing back on now. So yeah, the Ted Cheeseman JJ Metcalf fight is due to happen next. It's not on yet.
Okay.
Before it comes on, we've got a little video of sort of their predictions. They did some interviews with Seconds Out with their predictions of how the fight is going to go. So we'll just play that, and you can get their sort of thoughts on how they think this fight is going to go.
Little things we've been doing, and it's just made stuff a lot easier with my style and made myself a lot more better defensively and defensively while I'm offensive, if you know what I mean. Like, so I'm defending better while attacking and stuff, and everything's gone really, really well, and I'm excited to get in there now, and I feel like rejuvenated, if you know what I mean. Like I had my bad times, and now I'm back on a winning run, and I look to push on my career. Obviously, I've got to get past JJ first, but I'm feeling confident.
Yeah, he's right up there. Yeah, you know, he's in the mix with them all. He's had close fight with Scott Fitzgerald. He's only lost to him and Nat Garcia, and that was a while back. So, and he seems like he's coming into good form as well. He's only young, so he's getting better. So, I think it's going to be a really good fight.
He's younger than you, but you're arguably fresher. He's certainly fought more kind of 12-rounders and the tougher opposition so far. Do you think that plays in your favour a little bit, that freshness?
I'm not too sure. I think when you're that age, you're sort of fresh anyway. But no, he has been in some hard fights. But he's changed his style his last couple of fights as well, so he's not taking as many shots as he used to. But I'll just be the same as always. I'll be 100%. I'll be fit, strong, and ready for whatever he brings. I just keep changing my mind. You know, to be honest, like I just keep changing my mind because
I think Metcalf would have been favourite, but he has been inactive for over a year. I think he's at about like 14 months or something out the ring or something like that. And Cheeseman
His
is
fight
getting
fell
better.
through on fight week, didn't it, last year?
It's a shame. It was a shame for him, and that might cost him. You know what I mean? Because it's good to keep active and keep yourself fighting. Where Cheeseman's just come off a probably a career best win against Egerton. He is getting better. Cheeseman, you give him his due. When he boxed Garcia, he got absolutely outclassed, and then he come back and wasn't lucky against Fitzgerald. He should have beat Conway, in my opinion. He beat Egerton in a good fight. So I think Cheeseman's the more experienced fighter, even though he's younger. But it's an interesting one. It's a really interesting fight. Like I'm hoping Metcalf wins. It's a bigger fight for me. He's a Scouser. I hope Metcalf wins, but I don't know. You know, it's a really, really intriguing fight. That.
Guys, just a reminder about the competition that we have for those £2 coins that have been specially commissioned with the fighters' faces on. We've got 2 of them to give away. So all you have to do is subscribe to DAZN using our link, which is dazn.com/SecondsOut. And then once you subscribe, you're automatically entered, and then you're in for a chance of winning. So there's 2 to give away, so it's worth doing. But yeah, just looked at the video of the interviews from Ted Cheeseman, JJ Metcalf, both very confident. JJ Metcalf, he's 32 now. Ted Cheeseman only 25. As Danny was saying, I suppose the experience that Ted Cheeseman has, the sort of caliber of fighters and opponents he's had, is a lot stronger than JJ Metcalf. Most
definitely. But how many battles has he been in? And those battles age you. They take, although he's far the younger man, but he's been in a lot of wars. So the other chap, Metcalf, although he's older, he hasn't been. Look at their face. It's almost sounding like, I don't want to be too hard on Ted. Yeah, I think he's a tough, durable fighter. Yeah, but been in too many wars for my liking. Remember, I'm talking from a coach's perspective, you know. So he needs to move his head and not take as many punches to the face. I didn't, no disrespect him. I thought he was more than 25. He's only 25.
He's only 25. Yeah, a lot of people have said that. They thought he was older. Harry, what do you think?
I think I actually kind of think it's last chance to do for both of them, really. Obviously, Metcalf's getting on, and Cheeseman has had almost so many attempts at this level and just come up short that if he wants to box at European level and above, he has to win this fight. He has to win it impressively, and he has to show us that he can box, that he can move, not get hit. Otherwise, when he steps up to European level again, exactly the same will happen. He'll just get beat, and the beating's really going to get worse as he steps up.
Yeah, because Cheeseman has been British. He had the British title before. He has previously had it. And I think a lot of people in the boxing world are finding it very difficult to predict this fight. You know, it is going to be a close fight. Do you see the styles of both fighters, that it's going to be an exciting fight? Or no? You think it's going to be...
I do. I think it's going to be a war on Ted Cheeseman's behalf. And I think the fight will either be exciting or will be a boxing lesson, depending on how James Metcalf boxes. If he boxes and uses a boxing ability to just outpoint and outwork and outsmart Cheeseman, then from a boxer's view, it'll be a very entertaining fight. Maybe for the crowd, it won't be as exciting as a couple of Cheeseman's last fights.
Yeah, because he had obviously a great win against Sam Egerton in the fight camp in the summer. If we have the tail of the tapes, we'll have a look at their records.
That would help, actually.
Yeah, we'll have a look at their records and see.
Little things we've been doing, and it's just made stuff a lot easier with my style and made my...
So yeah, just the sort of differences there. So Cheeseman, as we say, 25. Metcalf 32. Yeah. Cheeseman had 19 fights. Metcalf 21. So he's not even had many more fights considering he's that much older. Cheeseman's won 16, 9 by KO, whereas Metcalf's won all 21.
Yeah, great
KO
knockout ratio.
By 13. Yeah. So obviously Cheeseman's lost 2. And Metcalf is undefeated. Cheeseman's got a slight height advantage, 5'10" to Metcalf's 5'9".
Yeah.
So obviously the knockouts for Metcalf 13 is impressive.
I would say so. Yeah, the fight is also a puncher. Again, Cheeseman, like I said, it gets hit too frequent for my life. I know I keep going on about it because I've seen the guy fight so many times. He only fights one way, and he needs to. I don't know. We'll see after the first round whether he's adapted and changed his style. But this guy is also a puncher. If the guy wasn't a puncher, then I'll say perhaps Cheeseman would overwhelm him. Because he's a puncher, the fact that Cheeseman is such an easy guy to hit, he will hit you, but he's easy to get him himself. And it takes so many punches for my liking.
Yeah, I mean, they say the aim is to hit and not get hit.
Yeah, that's what we
the
teach.
goal.
That's what we try and teach. Yeah, the art of boxing. And if you do get hit, minimize how many times you get hit.
Declan Scott asking, is this the co-main event? No, it's not. The co-main event is Fabio Wardley and Eric Molina. So, no, this is the fight before that. They're just doing their ring walks now. Paula says, Harry, you're looking sharp, fighting fit. Looking forward towards your next fight. Paul from Cardiff.
Thanks, Paul. I'm looking forward to it myself.
So am I, funny enough.
I think the British title fights are always exciting. You,
Yeah.
There's something about the Lonsdale belt, isn't there?
Yeah,
of course.
Brings out the best in everyone.
Yeah.
When every young man turns professional, their first aspiration, I want to win the British title. Years ago, the likes of your late Sir Henry Cooper, they were household names by just winning the British title. Frank Bruno, although he became a world champion later on in his career, but he was the British champion. He was a household name by being a British champion. That's been diluted over the years. People are just winning it now, surrendering it and getting a world title shot. But the trend has changed. But years ago, and it still is, it's a hard title to win.
Yeah, very prestigious.
Yeah, very hard title to win.
Prestigious belt. So yeah, both guys are in the ring, have done their walkout. It's odd to hear and see people in the crowd. It's so weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's alien. It feels, it's
bizarre.
Like, who said that? What was that? Crowd noise?
I know.
I mean, Jesus, it's...
I know, when we first turned it on, I said, why is there so many people in the crowd? Who are all those people?
Yeah.
And they were like, the crowd. I was like, okay, yeah, of course.
It's funny what you get used to,
It
almost
is.
feels like you're watching a replay of an old show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
And Metcalf not having had that many fights, although he's the older man, which suggests he's relatively fresh.
Yeah, because he's 32 and he has only had the 21, but he is undefeated and
He's undefeated. That's a big factor as well,
he looks very relaxed. Guys, give us your predictions on this fight.
I'm going for Metcalf, purely based on Ted being hit easy. And the guy's knockout ratio is higher than...
So do you think it's going to be a stoppage?
Yes.
Yeah, looking at their records and looking at the shape they're in, it's going to be a war, I think. But I do think Metcalf will win by late stoppage, 7, 8 rounds, 9 maybe.
Everyone give us your predictions as well, how you think this is going to go. I need to give my prediction, but I don't want to.
Yeah, what is your prediction?
I'm just like sitting on the fence. I think that I'm going to go with Ted Cheeseman, but on points.
Okay.
Yeah.
That could happen. This is boxing.
Yes. Yeah, we're pretty even on the predictions so far, I think, aren't we?
Yeah, based on the previous...
on the previous ones we've done.
I think I won the last one.
Yeah, you did what you did in the last one. Because I said Usyk for the first one, didn't I? But yeah, you won the last one. Yeah, because I said Daniel Dubois.
Yeah, and I said Joyce.
Yeah.
Is this a vacant title? Or?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
it is, yeah. And I think it's for Metcalf's Commonwealth title as well.
Oh, right.
I think.
Okay. Yes, it is.
Only because I saw Tony Sims earlier saying
Sure.
it was for the British and Commonwealth.
In his last 5 fights, Ted, I think he's lost 3 times, drawn 1, and won,
Yeah.
1.
Yeah, he won his last one with Sam
Yeah.
Eggington, then lost to Scott Fitzgerald, drew to Kieran Conway, lost to Garcia.
Well, that's a good win, the Sam Eggington win. That's a good win because
Yeah, that was a very good fight.
coming off the back of that to this is on good form.
It's very odd seeing people in the crowd. So weird. Yeah, because I think that JJ Metcalf's dad is training
trainer.
him. Yeah, and he's an ex-fighter himself.
Yeah, I like that. Because obviously I have 2 sons who box. One is my biological son, and the other is sitting right here.
Okay, first bell has gone into round 1. What time is the main fight? So the main fight we think is going to be around 10:30, 10:30. Yes, I was on MTV. Well spotted.
Were you?
I was, yeah, back in the day, years ago,
Okay.
when I was young.
Okay. You're still young. Sure. It will be a tear up. It's they'll both start to try and box.
Yeah, it'll start
And
off
then-
boxing, and I
and then-
think a couple of rounds in, it will turn into a fight as they both start to tire a little.
Oh, good shot. Oh,
Yeah, Metcalf's landed some good shots.
oh, shot.
Yeah, Metcalf is landing some big shots.
Oh, good shot from Ted Cheeseman. Beautiful, Metcalf.
Cheeseman, even though he's taken a couple of good punches, he looks sharper and faster of the two.
It does. That was a good. That hurt him. That hurt him. That hurt Ted. Good body shots. Oh, I've caught that.
A minute left to go of the
shot.
round. Yeah, it was a very close fight between Ted Cheeseman and Eggington. It was
remember,
unbelievably
yeah.
close.
Oh. Oh, beautiful. He comes back. Good fight.
This is a good first round. I thought they'd be a
It
bit
is.
cagier than this.
Yeah, it's an explosive start by both of them. I think Metcalf
Good
looks a little
defence.
bit more composed.
Yeah.
He's taking his time,
That's right, look.
picking his punches.
Good catch. I love to see defence.
He's switch hitting as well,
yeah, I
Metcalf.
didn't realize the switch here, yeah. I'll shade that to Metcalf. He landed cleaner. He took some punches
He landed
himself.
more clean, obvious punches in that round.
Yeah,
I'd
he
say.
was
Just few
landing a
more of
lot.
them.
Especially towards the beginning of the round. He
Yeah,
was
some good
landing
body
a lot of
shots
clean
to
shots.
start that round.
Sean says you're a future champion.
Thank you very much.
There's a lot of love on here tonight. It's lovely. Yeah, that first round was. I thought they might be a bit cagey because they were, it's a 50-50 and they probably don't know each other. There's not a clear favourite. So
Yeah.
I thought it'd be very cagey that first round, but it actually wasn't at all.
I think in their own heads, they're both the clear favourite. And I think just before this fight, they said they've been trying to get on for 4 years. So I think they've been watching each other and they've been done a lot of studying on each other. So they'll both be feeling very confident.
Ted's cut by the looks of it.
Yeah, it does look like
that will only
Ted
get. It's
Cheeseman's
only the
got
first
cut.
round. It's not almost like people say you're hating. It's just that thing. He's moving his head more than I've ever seen him. So Tony Sims is a great trainer. Tony is obviously working on exactly my previous observations of Ted Cheeseman. He looks when he's coming in, you could see he's he's attempting to move his head like there, right? So Tony's working on that, which is brilliant to see. I mean, his output is very good, but he solved that defensive issues he has, in my opinion. But there's massive improvement there.
Ryan Mann says, is Ted Cheeseman scared of the other guy's power?
He does look a bit.
He has to be cautious of it.
He looks cautious of it, definitely.
Oh, lovely. Look at that. It's only not even 2 rounds gone.
Yep.
It's very marked up because purely for that, defensive issues.
And Cheeseman's trying to move. He's trying to box better than he's boxed before. I just don't know if he has the boxing IQ to do it.
Oh, good combination.
Yeah, again in the second round, Metcalf's landing more clean shots.
Good shot.
Metcalf's been very cautious, but I think he needs to put the pressure on getting inside because a lot of his power punches are short punches.
Yeah.
If he can get inside and let them go, I think he can really do some damage.
Oh, good left hook.
Yeah, so Metcalf's switching to southpaw.
The switch hitter.
Yeah, I suppose the disadvantage to JJ Metcalf having so many KOs and is that he won't have done as many, not even close to as many rounds. And the longer the fight goes on, maybe the harder he will find it because he's not used to that territory.
That will be a factor, and that's where the age factor comes into play. The younger man should be the fresher man, purely based on the age difference.
Yeah, and Cheeseman's probably so used to going the distance.
Yeah. Oh, good shot. I'll give that round to Cheeseman.
Yeah, I give it Cheeseman 1 each.
1 each so far. Close, like we said it would be.
Cheeseman just boxing on the outside a bit better that round.
What do you think either of them need to do to sort of dominate it a bit more?
I think Metcalf needs to. He's been very cautious first 2 rounds. Maybe, like I said, maybe he just wants to know that he can go to 12 rounds. But I think his style and his power, he needs to put the pressure on. And I don't. From the looks of it so far, I don't think Cheeseman's got the power to necessarily worry Metcalf. But I think that's the only thing he can do is try and hurt Metcalf, and then use his boxing ability to continue outboxing him.
Yeah, I echo that opinion.
Do you think this fight is going to go the distance? Hard to say.
It's I can actually say no, I don't believe so.
No?
No, because if you know the pace is quite a frantic pace.
Yeah.
They're both exchanging big blows. They're going for it because they're loading up early. They're loading up, and that tires you out. Like we saw in the previous fight with Campbell Hatton. He was very tired for a 4-round fight. I know it was a debutant, but it was loading up every punch, and power punches really take it out of it. These two guys have come here with intent to knock one another out, yeah. So it's a question who lands the cleaner, really, because they can both punch. It's not like Cheeseman can't punch. He can punch, yeah. And if JJ gets caught clean, he will go. But I still favour him to get the stoppage. Yeah, he's moving his head well, like you could hear. Good to see.
Yeah, the way that Cheeseman fights, it must be hard to see that he'll have a long career, because it really takes its toll on you. You know,
Absolutely, yeah. Like I said earlier on, you know, it ages you. These wars, they're entertaining fights for the audience, but unfortunately, the person who pays the ultimate price is the fighter, because they have a shorter career for that reason. Oh! That rocked him.
Cheeseman's.
Oh, cracking return. That's a good right hand. He's hurt Cheeseman there as well. They both hurt each other in this round. Definitely a stoppage. This is only round 3, yeah? Do you know what I mean? It's round 3. He's recovered, but it looks... Oh, he rode that one.
Yeah, this is a war already, isn't it?
Yeah, as the boxing has slowed down, and now it's just toe to toe.
In round 3.
Like we expected.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful uppercut.
Beautiful uppercut.
Yeah, Cheeseman's nose is gone. He's got blood from the nose.
I like that Cheeseman's just taking a step back there to just try and box again.
Yeah.
He has improved.
Oh, he has, 100%. The head movement, Tony obviously been working on it.
He's trying to use his brain a lot more in this fight.
Yeah, he is. He's doing a good head movement.
Yeah.
It's the end of round 3.
I feel like Metcalf is the more dangerous looking opponent, but he also doesn't look that hard to hit. Cheeseman's finding him quite regularly. I give it to Cheeseman that round.
I'll score that round a draw.
Okay. It's very, very close.
Good shot.
Sammy says, who's fighting now? Ted Cheeseman and JJ Metcalf for the vacant British title, and for Metcalf's Commonwealth title. Because Cheeseman's got Tony Sims in his corner, and he is a very experienced coach, so you know he'll be saying the right things.
100%. Hence, also, I accused Ted of not having much head movement. And that you could see there's a massive improvement. That Tony has also been drilling him in training with that. You know, so that's where, like I said, he's got massive experience. Tony Sims, good training.
Into round 4 for this British title.
It's only 4 rounds into.
Yeah. You wouldn't know by the way they're fighting, would you?
Oh, that uppercut is landing every time. You know,
Cheeseman can't really miss Metcalf. It's also a tough man, Metcalf.
See that? Tony's obviously got him. That's what he has to do. Don't have a war with him. Oh dear, that was straight on the pipe.
That really hurt him. Really hurt.
Beautiful. I like my cards. Combination.
His combinations, and he's explosive. He's powerful. Yeah. Every time he throws a punch, it looks dangerous.
100%.
Cheeseman's got blood from his eye and his nose now.
Yeah. And that also makes the fighter feel negative, because when your blood is trickling down, you feel like you're losing the fight purely because you're bleeding. It's not a good thing for the...
Someone said why? Oh, there's not only 4 rounds. We're only in round 4. So
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
12 rounds, but we're only at round 4, and they're at a war already.
100%.
I think I'm more impressed with Cheeseman than I thought it was going to be.
Oh!
Unbelievable.
Oh, how the hell?
Unbelievable.
Oh! Stoppage
Cheeseman's-
coming.
Yeah, Cheeseman's going.
Stoppage. The referee. What? Referee should stop this fight.
Yeah, the referee needs.
Cover up. Don't fire back. What kind of guy is this? You got to cover up. Grab him. Hold him. Don't fire back at the same time.
Cheeseman's really, really going for it now.
Good uppercut.
Cheeseman just cannot miss. He's catching him with everything.
Metcalf's fighting back, but he's not.
I cannot
he's not
believe that
defending
Metcalf
himself.
has not held. Most referees would have stopped this fight, you know. If he doesn't fire back now, he will get.
He's not defending himself at all.
Cheeseman's gonna get tired because if this guy hasn't gone half a step back. No way. This guy, if he survives this round, I have to salute him because that's impossible. Impossible. Look at it again.
JJ Metcalf isn't looking
He's marked
good.
up,
Yeah, he's not looking good. He's got a black eye.
Jesus. Oh my days.
So
Well,
Metcalf
he gets
survived. Survived the round.
I don't care what else happens in this fight. He's earned my respect. If he goes on to lose, which it looks like he will lose, but to survive that, it's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, one, amazing to survive it himself, but also the ref didn't stop it.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that because I've seen fights being stopped for less.
For
than
less,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, so.
I think, as you were saying earlier, Metcalf's not had as many rounds because he's had the more knockout stuff. And I think the inexperience of not having as many rounds stopped him from knowing how to hold on then.
Yeah.
You know, if he had a few longer fights, a few more 12-round fights, he would have known hold on in that position, not try and fight back.
Yeah.
Brave man. I mean, at no point did he attempt to hold or just cover up.
Yeah, no defense at all.
Cover up and just hopefully gets hit on the arm. So it took every punch, full-blown punches on the chin. And he's up off his stool. Remarkable.
Yeah, so we're into round 5.
On my days.
But Cheeseman will be tired from that because he threw a lot of heavy shots then.
The thing
but he'll
have the adrenaline.
And he'll be feeling very positive.
100%. I mean, he did everything there, and the guy just wouldn't go. Referee could have stopped that. Nobody would have argued it, you know. I mean, I didn't expect JJ Metcalf to come out this round boxing like this. He should take a round off.
Ryan says, I'd like to see Cheeseman versus Fowler in the summer.
That'd
I
be
wanted
an
to see
exciting
Metcalf.
fight.
I want to see Metcalf v Fowler because they're both from
The three of them
in a shoot-off,
yeah, that'd be very exciting.
Sean says, missed the beginning. Is there a fight date for Big H's next fight? Not yet.
Not yet. We're
Pending.
Pending July, if not September.
Referee.
I mean, for Metcalf to come back like this, you have to commend his conditioning
100%.
and his training.
And when you haven't lost a fight, you don't know how to lose as well. That's a factor. Oh, that uppercut. Always. Jesus.
It's impressive how Metcalf has come back in this round.
Yeah, but remarkable.
It must be a bit for Cheeseman. He must be thinking, "What can I do to stop him? What can I do to get this guy out of here?"
My best shots, and still, not only is he survived, he's coming back at me in the following round.
You can really see the power that Metcalf has. Every time he hits Cheeseman, Cheeseman looks hurt.
Yeah, he looks very disturbed from it.
Would we say Metcalf is winning? No.
No.
We wouldn't. No. It was close the first few rounds, but it doesn't look like he's winning now.
Cheeseman's pulling away. Yeah.
So, end of round 5. So Metcalf got through that round and came back quite well.
I think so.
Who would you have given that round to?
Cheeseman. I've got him 3. That's 5 rounds just gone. I've got 3 rounds to 2 so far. I'm out to Cheeseman.
I'd have it the same. Cheeseman 3-2 so far.
So close still. And fair play to Metcalf for coming back after that 4th. Yeah, who's winning that round? Cheeseman, we said. But it is close.
It's
They're
very close. Yeah. This was...
Still a long way to go in this fight. Although, do you still think it's going to go by stoppage? Do you think it won't go the distance?
Yeah, somebody's getting stopped. I mean, we're only 5 rounds.
I know.
There's another 7 rounds to go. You know, I'll be very, very surprised.
Yeah, they can't be fighting like this for another 7 rounds, can they?
The pace will slow down.
Someone said they think this is going the full 12. Fair play to them if they go the full 12 like this.
He's given everything to Jay. I don't know what fight he's watching.
So yeah, Andy Clark's scorecard has given every round to Cheeseman so far.
Well, I suppose it's opinions, but I don't know what fight he's been watching.
I think if Metcalf puts in a couple of good rounds, he could really break Cheeseman's spirit.
Yeah. If he don't take any more shots, he's got defensive issues as well, Metcalf.
Someone's asked what weight class is Big H? Heavyweight.
One and only heavyweight.
Good shot, Metcalf. Yeah, that was a good punch. And I got another one.
Don't know if Cheeseman's maybe taking a round off, just trying to get a breather.
Yeah,
perhaps.
It's not.
Yeah, if I was Cheeseman, I'd be very disheartened about throwing everything at him, and he's not even just surviving; he's coming back and
he's competing.
I agree, but I think Cheeseman's had so many of these fights where he's been hurt, he's hurt his opponent, and they've still gone 10 or 12 rounds. I think
that's true.
He's quite used to in his head settling into
to the walls. Yeah.
Oh, behind the head that was. This actually suits Metcalf more.
Just about to say the same.
Ted needs to get back to his boxing.
Yep, needs to create that distance between them.
Like the previous round.
There we
good
go.
shot.
Hit and miss.
Yeah.
Give that round to Metcalf because I feel like Cheeseman just took his foot off the gas.
Yeah, I second that score as well.
So you've got it as a draw so far?
So far.
Do you think that Cheeseman intended to have a sort of more chilled round, a bit of a break?
He could have been told that the instructions in the corner is to take a round off, but don't do anything silly. Recover, And we next round you'll see he'll come up pressing the fight again.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're after.
Definitely.
That belt.
The Lonsdale belt. I remember when I first started watching boxing when I was like a sort of early teens and thinking, why does everyone? Because in any other sport, if you're a British something, it's not as good as Commonwealth, it's not as good as European, it's not as good as World. But in boxing, it's like the British title is almost seen as better than the Commonwealth or the European. You know, people want it more, and I didn't understand it, but it's just the belt that people want.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Commonwealth is better than it, although there are more countries involved because it's outside of Britain.
Yeah, technically it should be harder to get the
should
Commonwealth.
be, but it's a lesser title regarded than the British title is like very prestigious.
The one, yeah.
Lonsdale. The history of it is why, you know. Like I said, every young man that turns professional, their ambition is to win the British title, and if your name goes down in history from winning the British title. Oh, good body shot.
Cheeseman taking a couple of punches, but he has definitely come out sharper in this round.
Oh, see, that suits Metcalf. That getting in is obviously but the stronger man physically by the looks of it.
We're into round 7 now.
You can't miss with that upper because they don't have this, Harry. They don't have the cross arm.
They haven't got any defence really.
Yeah.
Just at the chin and the forehead.
Do you think both of them don't have good defence?
Neither of them have
They're
great
very
defence.
similar. They're actually very similar. Ted has improved a lot. The old Ted, this would have been all wrong for him, this fight. He's slipping his head more like there. He's attempting to take his head off centre. Oh! That's a beauty. He's gone in now. He's gone from that.
Metcalf
He's
is
gone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
He's caught him and.
Okay, he's done exact role reversal. Oh, good comeback.
I'm not sure.
Neither of them are going down.
Yeah, I'm not sure what either of their chins are made of. Or whether Joyce's chin is made of.
Yeah. Oh.
Someone said who's fighting? Ted Cheeseman, JJ Metcalf.
Oh. Who landed that?
For that British super
body
welterweight
shot.
title.
Oh, he done that. Metcalf round.
Metcalf round, yeah, it's 4-3 to Metcalf, I'd say.
So it's swaying. Cheeseman's bleeding quite a lot. Matt says, fair play, great fight this. It is a great fight. We thought it was going to be a good fight.
It's definitely a crowd-friendly fight.
Yeah, it's not a good fight for them. It's a good fight for everyone watching. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Cheeseman got caught with a silly shot though. I think it was good. It was very good from Metcalf.
Oh,
I think
God,
it
most
was
definitely. Yeah, I'm going to call it silly shot.
Yeah, not at all.
Maybe he's meaning he shouldn't be there at where he took that shot. Basically, you're better than means box, like what we were saying earlier on.
To step back.
Yeah,
Use
give
your
himself
boxing
room.
ability. Step away, move out.
I think he can actually box Ted, but he chooses to have walls.
I think a couple of fights ago he would have misstopped in that round, but I think the boxing improvements he's made kept him in that round. The head movement, the rolls.
Yeah, he's got another option
Yeah,
rather
sure.
than just to stay in there and. Into round 8.
Oh, good body shot. That will take a lot out of it. Sunk it in. Good. Don't know what fight he's watching.
5-2.
Yeah.
Andy Clark's got.
Everyone has their way of looking at fights. It's,
so he thinks
subjective.
Metcalf's won the last 2, but didn't win any before that.
No. Another good shot there, that round long hook. Oh, body shot, beautiful. That takes it out of you.
As Cheeseman starting to tire, his boxing ability is starting to suffer.
The more tired he gets, do you think he'll sort of revert back
Yeah,
into
he's
just...
reverting back to
100%.
he's staying in the pocket too much now. Jab and move, really. That's what he needs to do.
Someone said, hope Whyte is going to win, but he doesn't look as calm as Povetkin does. Povetkin looked very, very calm all week.
He's always like that. He's always like that. He's a very ice-cold character. Doesn't say a lot.
No. He doesn't give anything away, does he?
No, no.
Aaron says, come on, JJ. It's the end of round 8. What would you
Metcalf.
say?
Metcalf again.
I think that the issue is that some of the rounds are so close
Yeah.
that, you know, it's going to be difficult to argue with the judges if they...
It's subjective boxing, but the boxing that I'm watching, the man that's landing the cleaner punches and looks like he's hurting his opponent is JJ.
Cheeseman has definitely slowed down. He's definitely lost his last couple of rounds, and they've been fairly obvious rounds for Metcalf.
Bosh. Bosh.
Yeah, it definitely looks like Metcalf's shots affect Cheeseman a lot more than vice versa.
Like hard punches.
He's up on his toe, fast. I noticed that his
His conditioning is
conditioning is
fantastic.
good.
On to round number 9.
He's got
I didn't think it would even go this far.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't think it would go. Then it's suggesting that this may very well go the distance. Oh, it's a borderline, that one. That's the shot he's been hitting him with, actually.
Cheeseman doesn't need to be there. If he takes a step out, get back on his jab.
He crowds his work, doesn't he?
He does.
And he gets hit.
Do you think they've both slowed
Oh,
down?
most definitely, but Cheeseman more. to the forearm control from JJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone said there's no quit in either of them, but
No.
both poor defensively. Which is what you said.
Yeah.
I thought. At this stage, it's one throws, and the other one throws, and the other
Yeah,
one.
it's a very 50-50.
Back and
Swings
forth.
every 30
Yeah.
seconds. Cheeseman doesn't need to be sat in there.
No.
He's already shown in this fight he's got the superior
Skills.
boxing skills. Step back.
Oh,
Use that
good
jab.
uppercut. Why can't JJ block those uppercuts? He knows he's going to throw it.
He's not looking. He can't see it coming.
Boom. Oh, he went for it again. Oh, the referee. Come on, man. You got to be quicker than that.
Metcalf using all the rough tactics.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, the ref's kept his distance quite a lot in this
He should be
fight.
He doesn't want to
doesn't
get
he?
hit.
Matt said this might have draw written all over it.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
potentially.
surprise me.
Potentially.
I'd love to see it again.
Yeah, potentially. That round.
Cheeseman for me. Just he got back to his boxing for the first half of the round,
Yeah.
and then even in the second half of the round, for me, he was the superior work on the inside.
I made that round a draw.
Okay. Yeah, it was a very close round. It's difficult because if no one's happy with a draw. It's just.
Yeah.
So the crowd who gets to see it again.
Well, yeah. But then if it happens again, that's yet another war for Ted Cheeseman.
Most definitely. Every fight he's in. One thing for sure is craft friendly.
Yeah.
You
there's
buy a
gonna
ticket
be-
to watch him, you get your money's worth.
Yeah. Yeah, just the crowd.
I know it feels really good to see that.
Great to see. So into round 10.
Yeah. Championship rounds.
Didn't see it going this far.
No, did I, I'll be honest with you. But there's still a knockout in this fight.
Although I predicted Ted Cheeseman to win on points, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
So still on at the moment.
It's still on, you're still on. But I think I'm going to break your heart.
I know, a draw, just none of us get it right.
No, absolutely, yeah.
The fight that's happening now is playing into Metcalf's hands, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say so.
It is, yeah, because Cheeseman's stopped boxing. He's leading with his head again, which he would have done
good
more
shot.
a couple of fights ago.
So yeah, Andy Clark, 6 rounds to 3 in favour of Cheeseman.
I think it was unfair judging in the first 3 rounds. He gave him the first 3 rounds. We scored it.
One each,
One
and then a
each,
draw,
then a
maybe.
draw.
Yeah.
Here comes the stoppage. Right now. I saw something. Jesus. Hard fight to watch as well. It's like
It is a hard
boxing's
fight
not
to
really
watch.
supposed to be done like this. But it happens.
Yeah, like as you say, it is entertaining to a certain degree, but
Metcalf then.
difficult. Aaron said Andy Clark is deluded.
Good cover.
Yeah, Matthew
Oh,
Macklin said
dear.
he got 5 rounds to 4 so far, so a little bit closer.
He's tired. Metcalf I haven't seen him this tired for a while. He's really tired.
Metcalf actually doesn't look that tired, does he? He looks quite fresh. As fresh as you can in round 10.
Yeah.
In a war. Yeah, Cheeseman looks...
All these little rough tactics that Metcalf's using they'll now start to pay dividends in this next round and the round after. Tiring him out, putting on his arms.
Yeah.
The headlocks, the elbows.
So that's the end of round 10. How would you say that one went?
I'll give that round to Cheeseman.
Okay.
With Cheeseman too.
So you've got it now, I guess. Cheeseman just up?
Cheeseman 6-4.
Okay.
Right, Don's got a couple of draw rounds.
I've got a couple of draw rounds, so work it out, do the sums.
How long now till the main event?
Looks like Fabio's next.
Maybe about an hour, depends. Maybe just under an hour till the main event. Yeah, it's probably just under an hour till the... Well, it depends what happens in the next fight. So we've got the rest of this one, and then we've got Fabio Wardley and Eric Molina. It depends what happens then. Round 11.
Oh, good jab. So that's all he's got to do.
He's got a jab.
Get to your boxing like that. Just jab.
Cheeseman uses boxes, a completely different box.
Then the right hand will come.
Someone said, when I said that Metcalf looks quite fresh, someone said, I bet he won't feel fresh tomorrow morning. I don't think either of them will tomorrow.
No, they've been in a war.
I don't think they'll be waking up till the afternoon tomorrow.
Someone said close fight, maybe Cheeseman by a round. Someone said if Dillian Whyte and Ruiz both win their next fights, they think they should get it on would be a war, but I think Ruiz would win. What's your thoughts on that?
Stars make fights. If Dillian Whyte comes through today, I don't. That's actually a very. I've never really made that match in my head before. Stylistically, yeah, you could see why. You could sort of my boxing brain is leaning towards Ruiz. A fit Ruiz, if it's true what we've been seeing lately.
Yeah, he looks great, doesn't he?
If it's not a super computer generated image, because I don't see how he could have lost the weight, and then what have they done with the excess skin that when somebody who was that, let's face it, he was really in a bad way. I know he's never been a body beautiful. Some people are just like that, but what have they done with the excess? The image that I was shown, I don't believe. I think it was a computer-generated image.
Do you?
I really strong because there's no way when you think about it. When you think about it, you know you've lost the weight in the space of time. Well, what have they done with all the excess sag? Cheeseman is about to go in now.
Yeah, this is an interesting round.
Metcalf is obviously very tired. Last man standing. Oh, good shot. Oh, he almost went. He's gone. He's gone. He's gone. Oh!
Right before the bell.
Left hook to finish that.
Referee waved it, of course.
Metcalf's down.
Done.
Can he get up?
Right on the bell.
Fatigue.
That's it.
Come on, ref. What the hell do you want, man?
Cheeseman has won.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
We said it was going to be a knockout. I went for the
So
other guy, but
Ted
that's
Cheeseman
boxing for you.
has
Great
won in
fight.
round 11. Because
Great fight.
Cheeseman, about 10 seconds before that, looked like he was
Yeah,
he was
took a
done.
big shot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The other guy punched himself out in that round, yeah.
Very exciting fight. I'm just making sure that
Round
JJ
11, late stoppage.
JJ Metcalf's all right.
He started that round well
Yeah.
by boxing. Come out,
Cheeseman,
he used,
yeah.
Cheeseman used his
He
jab.
took a big shot. You thought he was gone, then he pulled it out.
Yeah, it was like that the whole way through the fight, though. One would look like they were done, and then they would come back, and well done, said Cheeseman. Very good finish. Well, well, well. So now Ted Cheeseman's got the British and Commonwealth title.
Yeah.
What next for Cheeseman then? Who next?
Well, you got like your Fowlers, people like that around. I don't think he should step up. He stepped up before above this level and he got found out. And I think perhaps he should win, let's say, win the British title. I think he's British level and not more than that. Again, this is not me being disrespectful. I think it's a great fight. You can see what he's done. He dug deep. Both fighters were tired. He pulled it out the bag. He's the younger man, fresher man. But really and truly, I believe this is his level, and there's plenty of people in Britain in that weight category to give him this type of fight. And perhaps he should go and he's won it before,
Yeah.
the British title.
He
I
has.
think you have to have 4 wins to keep the belt outright. And
You should think he
but
should
who am I
focus
to
on.
say? That's my opinion. The promoter and his team will have other ideas, perhaps to step him up to European, perhaps to world level.
I agree with what you're saying. I think he needs to defend and win the British title outright and gain the experience before he steps up to European level again. He jumped up to European last time and got very, very easily beaten. So I think he just needs to... He's surprised and impressed me today. His boxing skills have definitely improved. If he can do just say another year at this level of fighting, keep improving, and then move up to European level with more boxing skills, then he'll stand a better chance than rushing at it again.
And as for JJ Metcalf, you know, he put up a great performance. It looked like he was done early on, and he came back. What do you think's next for him? Do you think that he can sort of go around this level again?
Well, at his age, you have to then. This was a must. Every fight is a must win. At his age, with all the young cats in Britain coming through, he has to really look at his career. Maybe retirement comes to play. Yeah, so he should be proud of himself, his achievements, what he's achieved so far. Commonwealth champion. He's lost his belt tonight in an attempt to win the British title. Obviously, if he wants to carry on, he does belong with these guys. He's proved it.
Yeah.
And perhaps have another, get a nice win and then perhaps challenge for it again, or go for an international belt. But at 32, is he? Yeah, but...
Well, it depends how hungry he feels
yeah, it
when he
depends
wakes
on
up tomorrow.
what he wants to do. Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
People saying it was a great fight. It was. It was a great fight. And nice it didn't have to go to the scorecards. And
because somebody would have been terribly disappointed. I'm sorry for Metcalf that he got knocked out. Had he, let's say, the way it was shaping up, maybe he wouldn't have got the decision. And that's equally, obviously, very disappointing.
And a draw, no one would have been happy. So
well, rematch. For a draw.
yeah, the fans would have been happy with a rematch.
Yeah.
That's it.
Poor guy. It's horrible in that position when you fought your heart out and then.
Yeah, that is a shame for JJ Metcalf. But deserved from Ted Cheeseman.
Yeah, most definitely, yeah.
They both gave it everything. Well done to them. Someone has to lose at the end of the day. That is true. Unless it's a draw. Someone does have to lose. It's true. Cheeseman is the new British and Commonwealth Super Welterweight champion. So if we've talked about Fowler, do you think I think he wants the fight? He wants anyone. Fowler, he'll fight anyone. Do you think that he beats both of them?
Yes, most definitely.
Oh, you do.
Without
Okay.
a shadow of that, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's far too sharp, far too aggressive, far too powerful for either of these guys. It will just take Cheeseman to pieces, I think, in 3-4 rounds.
Do you think that either of them will take a fight with Anthony Fowler?
It depends on if they're
Depends on the money,
mandatory
I
to the
think.
belt.
If it's good enough money.
Yeah, and if the positioning of where they're placed within the rankings, these are all factors. And Fowler could be mandatory, and I don't see why not he isn't. I have to check that up. If he's next in line, then perhaps, yeah.
Be an interesting fight. Yeah, because I think Anthony Fowler has said he wants the winner
The
of
winner,
it.
okay,
Yeah.
then the promoters will do their jobs, and the crowd, I would want to see that.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure, you
Love
want to see that.
fight.
The audience now, we want to see
Yeah.
that. There you go.
Yeah. Let's get it.
Let's
get it
get
made.
it
Let's get it made.
Yeah.
So yeah, people asking when the main fight on. So we've got one more fight happening before the main fight. So we've got Fabio Wardley against Eric Molina, heavyweight 10-round contest, and then it is the main fight, Povetkin versus Whyte, the rematch. So before they're just doing some interviews with the fighters. So before the next fight starts, we've got some footage from the weigh-in that happened yesterday for the main event. So we've just got the video clips and all the stuff that went on. So we'll just take a look at that.
Fighting out of Brixton, London, England, the former WBC interim heavyweight champion of the world, Dillian, the body snatcher, Whyte. Fighting out of Chekhov, Russia, Dami Higaspana, Bayets Ezresi, Ruski Vitas, Alexander, Sasha Povetkin. 247.2 pounds for Dillian Whyte. 247.2 for Dillian Whyte. 228 and 1/4 pounds. 228 and 1/4 pounds for Alexander Sasha Povetkin. Alexander Povetkin, Dillian Whyte, 12 rounds for the WBC Diamond and the WBC Interim Heavyweight Championship of the World. This will be the final time they see each other until they step into the ring tomorrow night here in Gibraltar.
So obviously some great fights so far we've seen this evening. The next fight that's coming up is a heavyweight contest, Fabio Wardley against Eric Molina. It's 10 rounds. So what do you make of this fight? And what do you make of both fighters?
Yeah, a very interesting matchup, because when you think, we spoke earlier on how people got into the professional boxing, like Fabio came via the unlicensed white-collar background, which is remarkable. He's really progressed in a rapid type of style. To be fighting a guy in the name of Molina, who, if you remember, about 3-4 years ago, perhaps he fought Anthony Joshua. And
He did.
and
Wilder.
and Wilder, and now for him to be Fabio to be at this point in his career already fighting such caliber opposition, remarkable. And you know, yeah, I know him personally. Again, it's just, I'm very proud of him for he's shown his like I said, you're supposed to have amateur fights, have won national titles, gone through the usual route to get to this position. He hasn't done nothing like that. He literally, you could call it gate crashed the scene.
Yeah.
And to be where he is it's remarkable.
Yeah, because he's undefeated, 10-0, 9 knockouts. He's managed by Dillian Whyte, which I think has massively helped him. He's sort of Dillian's prodigy almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think obviously being managed by Dillian Whyte and getting on Matchroom very early on in your career is a massive help. It's massive help for the caliber of opponent you fight. If he wasn't with Matchroom, would he be English champion at 8 fights when he won it? Probably not. But he is, and he's at that level, and he's proven that he's at his worth at that level. I think he's been matched very well. He's matched tough, but I think they're getting his opponents at the right time. I think Molina hasn't been in the ring for over a year.
Yeah, and he's 38 now.
And he's 38, and
38.
I think he'll turn up and he'll give it a good go. But I think he'll know that he's here to make the numbers up a bit.
Yeah.
And Wardley will have to do a good job. I think if Wardley can stop him, that'd be very impressive.
Yeah. I'll echo that because Molina obviously has operated at a very, very high level. He's fought Wilder, he's fought Anthony Joshua, and it's not too long, probably 4 years ago, right? He fought in Manchester, I believe. He fought Anthony Joshua. So he does. What are the dangers that Molina possesses is that he can punch. He can punch. He's got a dig on him.
Yeah, and we've almost seen that from Povetkin. He's now 41, but everyone sort of wrote him off almost.
Yeah. The last thing a boxer loses, especially in the heavyweight division, is their punch. Yeah, so he does possess that danger, and Fabio has to. Again, this is where experience comes into it. He has to really be cautious and box intelligently, which he is. He's a very intelligent fighter. He's a good mover, which is going to cause Molina a lot of problems. Fabio's very skillful, slick. He's not a massive heavyweight. He's very athletic. He was a footballer prior to converting to boxing. So he's an athlete, an out-and-out athlete. So he, I believe he will be victorious. He might even get a stoppage, but he has to elect stoppage. I think he has to approach it cautiously because Molina can punch. Yeah,
because he's Fabio Wardley's coming in under 17 stone, and Molina is around the 18 stone mark. So
he's a big man.
He's big. He's bigger. The bigger man Molina
It's
is.
a big difference. I think if Molina can try and tire Wardley out and use that weight advantage, lean on him, hold him, try and old man him effectively and rough him up, then we could be in for a very interesting fight. But Wardley should be too young, too crisp, too sharp. His movement should make it a fairly easy fight. Comfortable win, yeah.
So if we just look at the sort of tail of the tapes and the differences between the two guys, so we'll compare. Just get it up so we can see it. So yeah, the fact that Fabio Wardley is 26, Molina's 38. 10 fights for Wardley, 10 wins, 9 by KO. He's 6'5". Molina has had 33 fights, 127, 19 knockouts, so still quite a high number of knockouts. 6 losses, and he's 6'4". So very similar in height. So it's obvious that Molina must be just the broader.
Yeah, he's
broader guy.
He's a broad man, more thick set. Fabio Wardley is still very young. He's 26 years old, so he's only will now start to get his man strength in his man body at that age. So he's got obviously a lot of filling out to do, but he's a very athletic heavyweight. You get two types. One's athletically built in the way he was a former footballer, like I said, so he doesn't have that natural heavyweight build. He's growing into it to becoming a full-blown heavyweight.
Yeah, I mean, Dillian Whyte has said that Wardley's got an aura of invincibility around him because he's undefeated, and that's good to have. But he also needs to be cautious of that because no one is invincible, especially in the heavyweight division.
Yeah, the heavyweights is a one punch, can change everything, weight category. So, yes, he needs to be careful. But I just think the fights have been picked at the right time for him. Molina is still a full-time teacher, so he isn't training full-time. So, as fit as he is and looks, I don't know if he'll be able to do the 10 rounds competitively. But he has got that one-punch knockout, so Wardley will still have to be very, very careful.
Yeah, and Wardley will want to make a statement. You know, he wants to have, you know, people talking about him in the heavyweight division, you know, stepping up a level, and he wants to really prove that he can mix it with the top guys.
Certainly, he's in a very competitive group of boxers with Daniel Dubois and Nathan Gorman, who are all they could all fight each other, and there'll be a lot of interesting fights there. So he wants to win this fight impressively and try and take a step above them, and move on faster and quicker.
Yeah, and compared to other divisions, the heavyweight division you are able to carry on longer. As you say, you know, the last thing that goes is your punch, which is all that you need sometimes in the heavyweight division. So do you think that maybe sometimes the age thing is focused on too much? You know, obviously Povetkin's 41 now, and we saw what happened last time. You know, Molina's 38. Do you think that people focus on that too much? Because I don't think you'd see a lightweight at 41 still going.
No, you wouldn't. I think heavyweights, they develop at a later age, so when they come into the prime and when they're fighting, having a lot of fights, is generally an older age. So I don't think that Molina being 38 is too much of an issue, but I think it's more how active has he been. He hasn't fought for over a year, but did he have nearly a year out of training and come back to training for this fight, or has he trained throughout and then, you know, sparred for this fight? And if he's only really trained to come back for this fight, then that deep ingrained fitness and strength and sharpness won't be there. So, and maybe when you get older, you can't train as hard as often. So we just got to see how fit Molina is.
Yeah, because the concept there, you say, of if you has he been out the ring and sort of done a camp and only trained since he got the camp, that's almost you know, it's some boxers are athletes. They train all year round, regardless. They're in the gym. Obviously, they step it up a level when they get into a fight camp, but before that, they're still in the gym, staying fit. Others, they balloon up in weight, aren't in the gym until they get a fight date. Then they're back in the gym, training hard, but they're not living life as an athlete. Yeah. What do you make of the sort of differences between those approach?
Well, that difference is a massive difference. Determines how well you're going to do in your career. If you're taking this thing serious, like you said earlier on, is a school teacher, Molina. So again, like you said, it's a question of has he been teaching and then suddenly got this call for this money fight, and he takes it. Is
your theory that you think boxers should be in the gym and stay fit?
100%, yeah, 100%. It's a profession. It's what you do for a living. So you must apply yourself at all times, whilst you consider yourself a professional. The word perfect, that's what you do for a living. It shouldn't be sidetracked with other things. Yeah.
We've got Danny Flexen back on the line, so just so we can see him.
Hi guys.
Danny, can you hear us?
I can. How you doing?
Hello. What did you make of that last fight, Ted Cheeseman getting that British title?
Oh, it was an incredible fight, wasn't it? Just enjoyed every second of it. We all thought it was going to be the fight of the night, and it delivered in spades. Just excellent, like exciting, sharp boxing early on. Quickly became a grueling war of attrition. Maybe not great skill as it went into the middle rounds, but certainly a lot of will on display, and a picture perfect finish from Cheeseman as well. I didn't think he had enough energy left in him, but a great way of ending the fight.
Yeah, it was almost a bit out of the blue that the way it ended, because it looked like Metcalf was on a good sort of run of punches, and it was that way all the way through the fight.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying to someone earlier, he caught him with that first right hand, which landed just behind the ear, and obviously did something to Metcalf's balance. But to capitalise on that in the moment, after you've gone through 11 or almost 11 hard rounds, and he'd looked really arm weary, Cheeseman, in the last couple of rounds. He was forcing him back, fighting at close range. He didn't look like he had much left in the tank. And then to suddenly uncork the perfect shots to end it as soon as he saw his opponent vulnerable, I just thought that was really impressive.
And do you think that is going to be the fight of the night, or do you think that we can expect exciting things from the fights to come?
Well, as we want people to keep watching, I'm going to say that I think the next two fights will be even better. No, I don't think the Wardley one.
They won't be wars like that one.
No, well, I can't see it. No, because I don't think Whyte or Povetkin, because they're both so aware that they can hurt the other, will be so gung ho. And I think Wardley against Molina, and I'm happy to have egg on my face if I'm wrong, but I don't expect that to last particularly long. Which will be a good thing, really, because it's getting late now, and I'm ready for the main event. But yeah, I think Whyte Povetkin will be a really interesting fight, really entertaining fight, but it'd have to go some way to top what we've just seen.
Yeah, because as we were talking about, Don said that Cheeseman, you saw something different from Cheeseman, and ultimately that's what got him the win.
Yeah, I mean, I thought early on he looked very sharp, but he has in a lot of fights, like against Scott Fitzgerald, he looked like a real good, back foot boxer in that fight. But then as he got drawn in, as he tired, as his opponent poured on the pressure, he kind of reverted to type. And I think it was the same tonight. He got round 9, I think it was, where he took a bit of a shellacking up against the ropes. He got bullied a little bit. And then he came straight back out in the next round and decided to push Metcalf back and really meet him head on. And I wasn't sure it was the most sensible things to do, but I think maybe mentally that broke Metcalf a little bit. And then he found the finish in the next round. But he's always going to be an entertaining fight. So I'm not sure it'll be a long career, but it'll be an exciting one.
That's what we said, isn't it?
To fight like that. And he's only 25 years old. Every fight is a war and not recommended.
Do you agree with that?
I agree.
It's a tough way to go about your career, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad he's making his money. A lot of his fights have been on box office shows, and I'm glad I think he's bought his house outright and he's doing pretty well out of it. But yeah, like Don says, it doesn't bode well for longevity in the sport, because not only is he having a war every fight, he's having a war every fight at domestic level. So if he's got ambitions to go further, he's putting too many miles on the clock at this level. It's going to make it very hard for him to progress to European or beyond. I mean, we saw when he fought for the European title, and I'm sure he's improved since, but back then he fell quite a way short. And if he wants to get back up there, I think the money on the table is going to be there for him to fight more big-name domestic clashes, like Anthony Fowler, for example. And I think that's a tough fight for Cheeseman. Very tough fight, because Fowler's very big, very physically strong, like Metcalf, but as a technical boxer and a strategist, he's better than Metcalf by some way.
Is that a fight that you want to see with Anthony Fowler? Because Fowler said he wanted the winner of this fight.
I think for British boxing, it's a really, really good fight, and it'd be really exciting. I think it could easily be a chief support on one of these box office shows, but I don't know if it's a good idea. I feel a bit sorry for Cheeseman, having come through some of these hard fights, looked unlucky not to get the verdict against Conway and against Fitzgerald, and he's kind of rewarded by yet another really, really tough fight at domestic level. I think, if anyone deserves a bit of a gimme in his next fight, it's Ted Cheeseman.
Do you think that Cheeseman can go beyond domestic level? Do you think that because Don said he wasn't sure if he can sort of step up to the world level or European level. Do you think he's got potential to be able to do that and mix well in that level?
I think he's still young enough to improve, but I think if he keeps having this kind of consecutive tough fight after tough fight, he's gonna improve in terms of tactically, and he'll be more seasoned because he's been in with good opposition. But he's not getting enough time to try new things in the gym and then implement them in fights, because he's getting drawn into tough fights from the off. And we'll never see if he can get to that European level. If you compare the record of opposition he's had for such a young guy, so fresh in his career, he'd had fewer fights than Metcalf, and is a lot younger than Metcalf, despite them looking about the same age probably. It's crazy. You look at Fowler's an example. If you look at who Fowler's fought compared to who Cheeseman's fought, it's night and day. And Fowler's the guy with the massive Olympic pedigree and the amateur pedigree. So I don't know, maybe it's because of Cheeseman's exciting style. They want to use him as regularly as possible in tough fights to give the fans their money's worth, which is admirable in a way. But for Cheeseman, it doesn't do him a lot of favours.
Yeah, he's definitely probably a fan favourite because he's guaranteed to be entertaining and have a great fight.
Yeah, he is. He's very exciting to watch. But, if we want him to succeed longer term or he's got a shot at getting to European level, he needs to fight a variety of different styles and learn that way. Obviously, sparring in the gym helps, but I don't think having these consecutive tough fights every time around is going to progress him to where he needs to be. You look at Fowler again, you know, he's had one really tough fight, and he said it himself after his last fight last week in the post-fight interview. I've had fights pretty much my own way, and the only one I didn't was the one I lost. And that loss to Scott Fitzgerald wasn't overly grueling until the last few rounds, and he was, you know, it was a very tight fight. And Fowler's improved from there, and he's joined Shane McGuigan, he's looking better than ever. You know, Cheeseman, he could do with some of those kind of comeback fights, if you like. You know, he loses and he doesn't get the gimmies before he gets back to a big fight. He goes straight back into another big fight, which is testament to how great he is as a crowd pleaser. But I don't know if it's best for him necessarily in his long-term trajectory.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what he does do next. But Danny, thank you. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Chat
Cheers,
to you
guys.
in a bit. Bye-bye. Yeah, interesting. And it's true. It is tough on Ted Cheeseman to. It's almost he doesn't get a break from the wars, does he? He doesn't.
It's your training camps as well that. Because if that's how he's fighting, that's going to be how he's sparring in 10, 12-week training camps.
Well, one good thing I heard that he's bought his house outright. That's brilliant.
Yeah, because I think he's had a few problems with gambling. He's said he spoke about it and said, you know, there's been some tough times for him. So that's great that he's been able to get something so good from boxing, 100%. You know, despite everything. But yeah, this
fight's gonna be over quick.
The
fight, Fabio Wardley and Eric Molina are in the ring, ready to get going.
State of this dude, man.
So prediction is that it's not going to last long.
3-round maximum. I think he's done what Harry said earlier. He's just taken a date, and I've got experience. I'm gonna do
just
a 6-7 week camp, if that, and then I'm gonna go to England and get paid.
So give us your predictions on this fight as well. Let us know what you're thinking. Do you think it's not going to last long as well, Harry?
4 or 5 rounds, because I think Molina will have the experience to see out the first couple of tough rounds, but then I think he just won't have the stamina, the fitness, the long hard training camp to see him through.
Yeah, and Wardley looks good. He looks in good shape.
Athlete,
he looks good. Is that Ricky Hatton in his corner?
Yeah.
So Ricky Hatton in Wardley's corner.
Rob Hodgins.
Someone said, ask Don if he thinks Chisora will beat Parker. Now that fight is happening.
It depends. He has the ability to, but Parker's a very good boxer.
Someone said Wardley 4th round KO. We'll see. I think it's going to be 3rd round stoppage from Wardley. Molina looks nervous.
He'll get stopped quick.
Okay, round 1. Off we go.
Being very negative about it.
Molina
doesn't want to be there already. Doesn't want to be here. The first shot he gets hit with, and it'll be a right hook to the head, which is what Wardley knocked out his previous opponent. He's open to that shot.
Someone said round 2 knockout. Someone's watching from Nigeria. Hello.
There you go. He can't afford to take that punch from Molina.
Yes, he was just walking around with his arms down then, Wardley was, wasn't he? He was...
Complacency could...
He had a very similar start to his fight with Whyte there, and they knocked him out in the 2nd round.
True.
So, which we spoke about earlier, I think that level of invincibility could be an issue. You have to stay switched on.
Yeah, because there's no point, taking risks. He doesn't need to. Dean said round 4 knockout. Yeah, you can see that Molina isn't a full-time athlete, can't you?
He shows.
Yeah. He's obviously a full-time teacher.
Good job.
To me, Molina doesn't even seem like he thinks he can win it. I think he's just there to.
Yeah, but he does possess that one punch thing. It can hit. Gum shoulder out.
No, the main fight is the next fight. So it hasn't started yet. Nikki D, thank you. Very nice.
He needs to keep his left
Got to
hand
bring
up.
that left hand up. Got to get that left hand out. It's all right boxing that style, but you need to know how to catch punches. This is Fabio Wardley. His offense is very good. He's trying to box the hands down style. To do that, there are other things you need to do that goes with it, which I'm not seeing there. And he's against a renowned who can punch. Most heavyweights can punch. Molina can punch, and if he doesn't bring his left hand up in certain situations, there'll be an upset. Complacency is a bad thing.
And surely it's a bad trait to have. It almost encourages complacency because if you're doing the sort of hands down fighting style, that will come unstuck against someone.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. Him and his training team, they really have to address that. Again, like I said, how I judge a fighter, it's about the all-round thing. His offense is very good. His boxing IQ is very good. But you have to defensively be good enough to deal with what comes towards you.
It was a bit of a cagey first round, but would you give it to Wardley?
Oh, most definitely, yeah.
On to round 2. The main fight is probably going to be starting at about 10:30, maybe just after. Depends what happens with this fight.
Good shot. That body shot hurts. Oh dear.
He needs to switch on.
He needs to switch on. Yeah,
get back to basic boxing.
Yeah, because he's doing a style that he's been getting away with. Opposition. Yeah,
he's not anyone test him doing it. If you're going to have your hands down, you've got to be able to bring them back up for your defence.
He's going to become apprehensive because Molina has whacked him a couple of times. The worst thing that could happen for him, if he goes into a shell because he's felt the power, then like that, he's getting touched up. Yeah?
Yep.
There.
Yeah, Eric Molina has said that he thinks Wardley is Britain's most beatable of the contenders.
Yeah, this is a step up. It's all down to what Molina has been doing in between teaching in schools. I mean, when you have fought Wilder and you fought Anthony Joshua, you must think, you know what?
Yeah, stepping into a ring for the Wardley isn't going to scare you or worry you.
Yeah.
So far, to me, it looks like he's just looking for that one one
Yeah,
punch. He's not trying to set anything up. He's not using his jab. He's not boxing. He's just
believing in that power thing that
he is.
he's supposed to have.
Yeah. It's all good if you can knock people out, but you're not going to knock everyone out. And you're certainly not going to knock them out unless you set it up.
Do you think that's something that Wardley definitely needs to change as he sort of progresses through his career?
This is where the experience and the background that he didn't have comes into it. You know, there are certain fundamentals that they're must-haves, and if you haven't come up that way, that's a Molina round.
1-1.
If you haven't come up that route, then you could easily be exposed by someone who's just like Molina, just purely doing basic things but being effective against him. So he needs to, whatever happens tonight, I still believe he'll win this fight. He needs to go back, from what I'm seeing there, go back to basics, work on them, because he's been fast-tracked in terms of the opposition they're putting him with. Domestically, we've got people like this young man coming through. We've got people in my stable, George Fox coming through. We've got David Adelaye. There's Gorman, who's already established. Daniel Dubois on the combat thing. I wouldn't even mention putting him in with Joe Joyce, because George is at, he's at a world level. So domestically, people coming through, going with that style he's got presently, he won't go part. He wouldn't swim out of the British pond.
Yeah, because he's got the English title.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard at this stage to see him taking on the likes of Gorman or Daniel Dubois.
Not like this. He wouldn't be successful. No. There you go. Get back to the basic. Get your jab going.
Jamie says Molina is getting some shots through. He is. We thought he won the last round.
So he's got that good jab.
He's got a great jab. He's got great speed.
Yeah.
But it needs to be double jabs, triple jabs. You can't throw 1, 2, 3 punches around and expect to win the round.
I'm always suspicious of fighters who come wearing those skirts because they're too much into the looking good part of boxing
Flashy.
than the actual. Yeah, he's doing all the show, like leading with that right hand. It's very frustrating. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't teach that. I wouldn't. If I had a fighter who fought, I have had fighters who fight like that, but there's other things that you need to do to make you that full thing. You don't do it how he's doing it. It's almost like fantasy boxing they're trying to do.
But I said round 3.
Yeah.
Stuff is they're doing.
The way this is going, Fabio hasn't shown me anything lately that suggests he can.
He would stop him.
Good catch.
Yeah, there's almost no defence at all from Wardley. He's just.
Yeah.
I think he's not used to having to use his hands as a defence because he's quite good on his feet.
Good shot. See that shot? Beautiful shot from Wardley.
Wardley. Yeah, Molina turned away.
It's a similar performance from Molina from when he fought
Hrgovic, yeah.
It's almost like he just doesn't like getting hit anymore.
No.
I know the idea is not.
Yeah, it's like
hit,
he doesn't want to really be there.
Yeah.
That's what it seems.
Oh.
End of the round. Wardley.
I'm just edged towards him for that, yeah.
I'd go Molina just because I think he just did more work. Wardley definitely landed a couple of flashy punches.
Telling shot, yeah.
But
yeah.
2, 3 good punches around, but.
So you got it. Molina 2-1.
I have.
Molina. And you've got it.
What was that? 3 rounds, yeah?
3 rounds, yeah.
Yeah. I'll give it Wardley 2-1.
You're going Wardley 2-1,
Yeah.
all right.
Okay.
That's why we're here. Opinions.
Yeah.
But I think Molina showed in that round that he just doesn't want to get hit anymore.
Yeah.
This
It
time in
turns
his
back.
career, I think he's very much proven that he's just here to get a couple of rounds and a nice paycheck and go back to America.
Yeah. And if he gets lucky and lands a bingo shot, he gets lucky. Like
Yeah, he doesn't.
there.
Yeah, he
That's
doesn't look-
negative. Negative.
Very negative. There's almost not much will left in him to fight.
Nah.
Someone said they think Wardley's engine is going to blow.
I hope not. He hasn't done any work yet.
Into round 4 now.
That's better. Just stick to that. Good shot. Good shot. Like that. It does something
He-
great.
He definitely doesn't. So Molina.
It does something great. Then
Molina's
it
down, but
goes
it was
into
a
like,
it was
"Don't
a
hit me,
trip.
don't hit me."
It's a really.
That
really-
is literally as soon as
yeah,
he's
it's a
against
weird
the
performance
ropes.
from Molina.
Very odd. But yeah, it wasn't a knockdown. It was just a trip
I hope
from
for his
Molina.
sake his pupils aren't watching.
People aren't impressed
Good
with
job,
this fight.
Wardley.
Yeah, because they just said
Oh,
then
dear.
Wardley hasn't lost a round in his professional career yet, but
He's at his own way basically all the time. you know.
yeah, he's
It's
not
a
used
good
to.
good learning fight.
Molina's having a good round. He is coming back at him.
Those are good shots.
Yeah, Molina's definitely. He seems keen when he's landing the shots, but when he's getting hit,
goes
he
into
doesn't want to.
negative shell.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be there. So one of you said round 4, didn't you?
Yeah, I think we could all be wrong here because
Yeah.
Molina is being stubborn.
Do you think it's difficult for Wardley because Molina's fighting so negatively? Do you think that's tough or?
No, it just if he sticks to fundamentals. Occasionally he does, then he's very successful with it. Just you stick to that.
And I think there's a lot of work Wardley could be doing to bring Molina on to punches.
100%.
And perhaps that's a lack of experience and a lack of overall time being in the sport of boxing, where he just hasn't got the knowledge yet to tease your opponent, bring him on to punches, make him feel like he's being successful, and then
Catch him out.
land your punches.
Who would you have given that round to?
Molina.
Okay,
I get Molina too as well, yeah.
interesting. So you've got Molina winning.
I've got Molina winning. Don's got him a draw.
The draw, yeah. Interesting. Someone said, is Molina a professional? Yes, he's just not full-time. He's a teacher, so he's not full-time boxer. Someone said they reckon that round 7. Wardley, round 7? What do you...
I'll be interested to hear from Wardley at the end of the fight what his game plan was.
Yeah.
Whether he was just in it for the rounds.
He will say that, but it doesn't appear that way. You
No,
don't
no.
take those shots just to get the round.
No.
Shots that can potentially knock you out.
I'd like to see him step it up now, nearly halfway through the fight.
So into round 5.
He's doing the right thing, Molina. He's punching the body.
Yeah, so
Oh!
Wardley's rocked.
Problems.
Molina's showing his power.
Problems.
Wardley's he's rocked. Oh,
Oh, he
Molina's
dropped him.
down. Molina's down.
He
That
won't
was-
get up from that.
That
Molina
was,
don't want that anymore.
Yeah, so he's got counted out, so that's it. Wardley has won that in round 5. Someone said round 5, I think.
Me, I'll
Yeah,
take that.
well
Did you say
done, well
5?
I'll
done.
take that.
Yeah.
Should put money on
Although just before that, it looked like
He did,
Wardley
yeah,
was out
He
then.
was in trouble.
He was rocked.
it.
Yeah,
Could have been egg on face.
he was in trouble.
Yeah, it did almost wake Wardley up to
They
something.
took
He
a
got
shot
hurt.
that
Yeah.
He's on a match out. Again, almost reminiscent of the Cheeseman JJ Metcalf fight.
Mm-hmm.
He was about to get stopped himself by the looks of it.
Yeah, he looked like he was going to.
Well, he got counted. No, he
He's
always does
been
that.
hitting the back of the head.
He always does that.
He did, yeah, he did that against Hogovic.
Yeah.
Why is Molina's coach? He looks like he's kicking off about something.
He's unhappy saying that Molina
They got
hit
hit
on
behind the
back of
head, potentially, but we'll see in the replay.
What happened? We're just about to watch what happened. It all happens a bit messy, actually. So what actually happened at the end then? Did Wardley get the counter then? Because he didn't look stable at all.
Did he?
Did he? Because he was against the ropes and then he countered. And
Yeah, he released a punch. Obviously, we have to see the replay. I didn't see it because Molina had his back to us. The camera angle we had didn't show actually which punch. I believe it was a bowling right. It may have potentially hit him behind the ear or back of the head, which is an illegal punch, but it all counts. If the depends on what the referee saw as well. He only gets one take of it. So, but he got out of jail. But there's a lot. He has to go back to the drawing board and really address the things we saw. This is the hardest test he's had since he's been a professional boxer. Somebody who actually punched back at him. Right, here we
Just
go.
looking at the
Bam.
replay now.
Right, so that backs him up. Yeah.
So Wardley was against the ropes.
Right, watch this now. He's on the retreat. Grab, boom, 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 pop. Oh, it was a nothing punch.
I don't even know what
The
punch.
left hook was the one that hurt him.
The left will hurt him, and yeah.
The right hand was just more of a grab to throw him to the floor.
That's a poor knockdown on Molina because
He
really
just
and
went hungry.
truly,
He didn't
He wasn't
take
hungry
it.
for
no
it at
ambition.
all.
Yeah, you don't really go down from that. But obviously, the left hook that landed, that may have been the shot that actually hurt him.
Do you think that he was just ready to go down? He just was.
I
I think he
believe
was
so,
ready in
yeah.
the second round to go down.
There,
Just waiting to be hit, I think.
that is hurt. There.
Yeah, there's a lot of Wardley actually misses a lot of shots there. They don't really land. Someone said, Harry, do you fancy Wardley? Easy work, surely.
I'd love that fight in the future, definitely. I'd be up for any of these guys.
People are saying he's quit. It's obvious. He just took a check and then quit.
100%.
He looked that way.
It's great on paper for Wardley, but he's just not. He's not getting the learning fights. And when he does, because eventually he's going to have to step up to the next level, because that's where his career is going. And if he hasn't learned on the way up there, because he hasn't had the correct opponents, he's got on paper they're a high caliber opponent, but they're not giving him anything. They're not challenging him.
What do you think should be next for Wardley? Who do you think would be good for him?
Well, you got the likes of Nick Webb. That would be a good measure of what Wardley how effective he's going to be within the British scene. That's the type of fight and level I would like to see him in next.
Or even Nathan Gorman.
Or Nathan Gorman.
Yep.
But even Nathan will make an easy work night of this, because Nathan is a very good fighter. He's only lost the once to Daniel Dubois, who overpowered him physically. Nathan puts punches together really, really well. And had that been Nathan Gorman in there tonight, Wardley boxing in the way he was boxing with his hands down, he would have got punished dearly.
So just announcing Wardley was the winner. It will be interesting to see what he says, whether he thinks it was a good performance for him, or whether he's seen parts of his skill set that need improving. It would be interesting to see if he thinks that.
Yeah, he's quite an intelligent, articulated young man when he speaks, and he's very one of the boxers, few boxers who actually when you listen to, he can listen to, he speaks well. He will be honest enough to say, you know what, the level of opposition gave me a test, but I went through it, I came through it, and I will learn from it, and I'll go back to the drawing board and polish on the things, work on the things that I need to improve on. That's the only thing he can say. And I think if he comes at believing in the hype that's kind of being created around him, and if he's buying into that, he's buying into a false sense of security, a disaster waiting to happen in the future when the actual British scene, like, remember, this is not, Molina is not from the British scene, he's from the, outside. There's some lively, young, hungry men. I'm a coach, I'm a heavyweight specialist. I've got a very special heavyweight right here, sitting here. There are these young cats coming through, and they've all been well schooled. They've all had amateur backgrounds, which Fabio didn't have, and he will get exposed if he meets this type of well schooled, pedigreed heavyweights.
Do you think that Wardley has the capabilities to go further and he'll have world title as his career goal, I guess, but do you think that he's got the capability to do that?
He has the ability to be trained and coached into perhaps go further. So he's talking.
Yeah, he's just Wardley doing his post-fight interview now. No, the Whyte Povetkin fight has not started yet. That is next. It's coming up next. So Fabio just saying he's got a lot to learn still. Yeah, so the main fight will happen next. So Wardley just being asked who he wants to fight next. He's not wanting to call anyone out, so he's not going to give names. So he's looking for British, Commonwealth or European title next. He realises he's got things to work on, things to improve on. He's saying he doesn't want to call people out, but he's saying that he wants those titles. In your opinion, he's not at that stage yet?
Well, his record suggests, and the opposition caliber of the opposition he has fought to date suggests that on paper he's on that level. But from a coach's point of view, there's a lot of up-and-coming British heavyweights who would exploit and expose him for his lack of the background he came through. It's remarkable what he's done and what he's doing, but looking at that, there's a lot of things there. When he goes back and watches and his coach, I know them very well, Rob Hodgins and a good coach, and Fabio Wardley. There's so many things there that needs to be, if he wants to, has aspirations of going further, he has to swim out of this pond. If they go internationally, there's only so far he can go before he gets found out, because those things will always be there. But domestically, there are a few guys domestically who, will get found out. If he's fighting like that, not addressing the issue of dropping the hands in the wrong, when you're dropping, you have to realize where you are, whereabouts in terms of positioning. Yeah, he needs to address those. Otherwise, he will definitely, you've seen it many, many, many times. Bosses come, they get hyped, they get carried away in their own hype, and then when the actual test comes, they fail miserably. So I hope that's not the case here.
Yeah, in a way, the sort of hype around him, and being managed by Dillian Whyte, and the hype that's around his fighters that he manages, can almost be a hindrance, because it builds them up, builds the pressure up, and it almost sets them up to potentially fail. Whereas if they just let them sort of organically grow,
it means they have to move a lot faster than perhaps they should be moving. Wardley's done fantastic for where he is with 11 fights and the caliber of opponent he's had. But if he wasn't with Dillian Whyte, would he have been moved a bit slower? Would he have had a few more learning fights? Some trickier fights? Because there's a lot of guys out there that haven't got the big names like Molina and his previous opponents, but will give him a harder fight. And perhaps he would have had those fights, and he'd be more prepared for when he has to take that next step up. Because that next step is going to come because of the speed he's moving. And like Don said, he's got to be able to back it up with the knowledge and experience, so when he gets to that level, he's ready. Otherwise, he will get found out.
Yeah, it'll be
like me.
It'll be interesting to see what he does next. So yeah, the main fight is coming up next for people who are asking. So hopefully it won't be on too much longer. It should be starting. But we just have a video of the sort of build up to the fight. Some footage of the build up when they're in Gibraltar. So we'll just show you that just to sort of build the hype for this main fight, and then the rematch is happening.
Положили в больницу, и они меня лечили. Это как серьезно, серьезно, этого я не знаю.
Well, the first thing is response to Dillian Whyte. He can think and tell wherever he wants, but we have a papers. We have a documents with different analysis. And the result. Actually, send it to Matchroom. So this is not the case for a discussion. And for Dillian, this is better when the fight goes later. Because of knockout. So regarding how serious there was a COVID, it wasn't like that. It was like just to avoid any risk for the family, and have some kind of checking all other like to check the body and the system of the body. So this to using is not just for recovering from the COVID. Well, there is no such some mind that there was a good shot in the first fight, and it can be the same in the second fight, because this is a different story. We started from the beginning. We forgot what's been in the first fight. It should be, it could be anything in the fight, and I need just to be ready for the 12 rounds. That's it. We're not taking account the first fight.
At this stage, it's all about minor adjustment, because everybody knows what to jab, everybody knows to throw right hand and uppercut. It's just about minor adjustment, working on timing, where your foot is, getting it. It's just about minor adjustments, man. That's all it is. So they've been is in the main thing, just minor adjusting things and the concentration and other things, and stuff like that. So yeah, it's all good. No, listen. See, boxing, a lot of people talk shit. People talk shit. I wouldn't have do this. I don't know why Mark's saying this is a fight. Mark don't let me get close or whatever. I'm fighting. It's a fight. It's not that your coach don't let you get close. It's a fight. You're fighting a good fight, a strong operator, a world class guy. So it's not just me alone. I can't just decide everything in the ring. It's like, I'm saying, we're about to trade off. When you look at when I got knocked out, I was about to knock him out. You know what I'm saying? I went round the side. He came in the middle. It's just a split second to make a judgment. If his punch never land, my punch knocked him out. If you watch the fight, you see we're both on par to land. I'm about to land my right hand, left hook. He threw the right hand and missed, but then he came out in the middle. So it's just boxing, it's heavyweight boxing. It's like a game of dice. When you roll dice, you don't know what number is going to land on. So people just need to stop talking shit. But see, boxing, when you do good, it's like, yeah, oh my God, he was so great. When you do bad, the royal and his dog come out to say some shit. It's just what it is, bro.
Yeah, I think that is good that he got more time. I think that it's going to be a same outcome in a sense. I think we're going to see a good little fight for a little bit, but somebody's going to go to sleep. And I think the odds are leaning more to Povetkin. That's just from my own perspective. I think that's kind of how the fight's going to go.
If he clips him, he'll go. He's shown he can do that. If he clips him, up to then Dillian was doing fairly well. Can Dillian stay on top of, get on top of him? And is he going to be wary about, what happened to him in the last fight? Is he going to be wary about it? I think the big benefit he's had from his perspective is they didn't go straight back into the rematch and it got postponed. So I think had he had done that, I would have said Povetkin all day long because, you need time to recover and be out, and get yourself back in. You should be sparring after getting badly knocked out like that. But one thing's for sure, if Povetkin clips him, he'll go.
But will he clip him? What's your prediction? I'm not letting you sit on the fence
Well,
again.
he's cut. My prediction is, what's my prediction? My prediction is if he clips him, he'll go.
But will he clip him?
We'll see.
Ah.
I think Povetkin. I hope Povetkin doesn't do don't say I hope. I mean, I'm pleased he won Anthony Joshua, but provided he's trained well, and he's had COVID. He had COVID, didn't he? So that's quite debilitating. So we'll see how strong he is then. But if he's at 100%, then I've got fancy.
So the main fight is finally here, the rematch. So as I said at the beginning, this fight has been postponed and rescheduled, I think 3 or 4 times. It was meant to be in November, first of all, then January. And then it was originally the beginning of March, but obviously had to be postponed due to moving from the UK to Gibraltar. It's been highly anticipated, this fight. Judging what happened last time, obviously it was such a shock. No one saw it coming, I don't think. No one predicted it. No one even during the fight saw that coming. Whyte had Povetkin down. Just talk to me about the first fight and how you sort of saw that fight going, because it was a good fight from Whyte. He couldn't really have done more up to that stage.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, Dylan. From the first fight, he was doing everything correct to the degree he dropped the opponent twice, and it was only a matter of time before he went on to conclude the fight. And Povetkin, again, this is that having that background as an ex-Olympic gold medalist, world title challenger, and really good career he's had. And he pulled that shot that, I mean, you'll have to go, when you're searching the library of knockouts in all-time boxing, heavyweight boxing, that will rank amongst the best knockouts I've certainly seen in my time watching boxing. And, a shot that would knock anybody out. And, remarkable. So it makes it a very interesting, obviously, that while we're here today, this second meeting, it makes it very interesting.
Yeah, because it was a fantastic knockout, but Dillian Whyte handled it very well afterwards. He said he wanted the rematch. He said those things happen. He seems to have mentally handled that knockout well, considering a lot of some fighters, it would have sort of been the end. They wouldn't have dealt with it very well.
I don't think there was anything other than dealing with it well that he could have done. He didn't do anything wrong in the fight. He got caught with one punch and got knocked out. He got up. You know, there wasn't. He didn't get robbed. He didn't get stopped wrongly. He got up and said, "Yep, we got caught with a good shot from the better man. I want the rematch. Let's do it again." And that's why we're doing it again.
Yeah, because Dillian it was a risky fight to take. You know, he was mandatory, and had been for a long time. You know, I think a year and a half. He'd been waiting.
1,000+ days, I think it was.
Yeah, it was a long time, and so a risky fight to take, which he knew all along. Do you think that if he wins this rematch, it puts him back in contention, back where he was before?
Well, I would really campaign. I would be leading that campaign for him to be reinstated to the position he was in prior to the loss. And you have to commend and admire the guy for, like, it shows you what he's made of. I would say, would be asking almost immediate, Eddie, give me that match again. You have to be really mentally very, very strong. I spoke to him yesterday, and he's mentally, because I've known him before he even converted to becoming a boxer. He's a fighter. He's a natural born fighter. And you have to be really special to be able to overcome that mentally, to be able to deal with it. And he's got the swagger back. He doesn't look like a guy who's, dealing with issues. He's obviously looked at it. Like I said, that shot would have knocked anyone out, anyone in the world. And unfortunately, it was at the receiving end of it. So, let's go, champ.
And if Povetkin wins this rematch, do you think that, he's 41 now, this is his last, it could be his last chance for world honours, or to get on that world level?
Yeah, very much so. I think if he wins this fight, I think it's still going to be a long wait before we get a shot at the title, because we've got Joshua and Fury. I'd imagine one, if not two of the titles would become available after the first fight, before the rematch. But that's still 6, 7, 8 months away potentially, and there's, Povetkin isn't getting any younger, so he has to win this fight and then push for something big straight away.
And as I said earlier, Povetkin had COVID, I think quite badly for a while, hence why there was a couple, I think one, or at least one of the postponements happened. Do you think that he'll be affected by that? Do you think that he would allow the fight to happen if he was still affected by that?
No, I think the medical teams that are involved, especially with Povetkin, are clever enough and wise enough to know that if he wasn't right, they would push the fight back again, or pull him out and not let him fight anymore. Because if it was still to that point where he wasn't well enough to train hard enough for this fight, then that would probably be the end of his career because of his age and the options out there at the moment.
And obviously, so if Dillian Whyte was to win this fight, as you say, we've got the AJ Fury fights, which have sort of tied them up for a while, the first fight and the rematch. Yep. So if Whyte was to win, who do you see him sort of fighting next? Do you see him waiting again, or he's not really got that in him? He doesn't like to do that. He likes to fight. So who do you think would be a good next opponent if he gets through this rematch?
It's a difficult one because there's certainly no one on domestic level that is worth him fighting. Realistically, an ideal where he'd wait until one of the titles become available, which if the Fury Joshua fight happens in, say, June or July, then perhaps he could fight for it in August or September. But again, it's just down to whether he's willing to wait that long, and how much the last two camps and this fight and the previous fight have taken out of him. He might want a rest after this, rest for a couple of months, and then continue training ready for a summer fight. Or he might want to get on the undercard of the Joshua Tyson fight. It's just down to him at the end of the day.
Do you see any opponents who you'd like him to see him face?
Yeah, there's plenty of next pool of fighters. Like we mentioned earlier on, you got Andy Ruiz, you got Wilder, who was ducking fighting Dillian, who wouldn't give him that shot. You got likes of your Joseph Parker, who's about to fight Chisora. You've got Michael Hunter, nobody mentions him, the American. There's Hogovic, who's coming up.
Yeah.
There's Joe Joyce. There's Usyk. You know, there's in the next pull down, like those titles Joshua and Fury has are tied up for the foreseeable future. You're looking at they've got this fight, and then there's a rematch clause.
Yeah.
An immediate rematch clause. That then could prolong to a trilogy. You look at, I believe the way I understand boxing politics, I could see those belts being tied up for the next 24 to 36 months.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna wait around hanging around. Remember, those are what will be considered as super champions. So I think they should, which is already in place, have these regular, what we call as regular champions. And Dillian Whyte should, and that next pool of fighters should be fighting to compete for that regular. You're still a world champion,
yeah,
but you're not a super champion. Yeah. So instead of keeping just fight the next pool of fighters, and then, like I said, 24/36 months time, then those other belts will become available.
Yeah.
And then I believe that's what will happen, and because the way demographically, the way it's looking, that suggests to me that's what will happen.
Well, the fighters are just walking out to the ring now. So Dillian Whyte is actually in the ring and Povetkin is walking out. And before the fight starts, we'll just look at the tail of the tapes. So just have a look at their comparisons. Obviously, a lot's been said about the fact that Povetkin is 41. So if we just look at the statistics. So Povetkin 41, fights 39, he's won 36 of them, 25 by knockout. Had 1 draw, 2 losses, and he's 6'2". Dillian Whyte, a little bit taller, 6'4", only 32. Fights 29, won 27 by knockout, 18. Had 0 draws, 2 losses. So it's obviously high percentage of knockouts from both of them.
Yeah.
So that's that's obvious. That's why it's dangerous.
The type of fight it was like previous meeting. They could both knock each other out.
Which is exactly the same this time. Either could knock out really at any point. Let's just put it back onto the fight. So yeah, people asking, the main fight is about to start. So Alexander Povetkin is making his way to the ring. If Whyte wins, it must be Fury, Joshua or Wilder. He's earned that. But yeah, I mean, Wilder wasn't keen to fight him before, was he? He was not keen. So both guys are in the ring. A bit of psychology going on with Dillian. Dillian like language, almost blocking Povetkin's entrance into the ring. Is it going to be revenge or repeat? Right, so we're going to get predictions and then you're going to score. So what is your prediction, revenge or repeat?
Revenge. I believe this fight will be concluded inside 7 rounds.
Okay.
I'm going in favour of Dillian Whyte by KO stoppage.
Okay. Harry?
Revenge, Dillian Whyte. I'm going to go for it round 3 knockout.
Wow, okay.
Yep.
A quick
And
one.
yourself?
Right. Yeah, I think revenge. I think Dillian Whyte. I think it's going to be cagey the first few rounds, so I'm going to go with round. What did you say? Round 7.
7. Inside 7.
Yeah, I'm probably
going to
gonna.
choose a number, I'll say 7.
I'll go with round 8. I'll go with round 8. So yeah, but I think that it will be a stoppage, and Dillian Whyte will get the revenge.
So we're all going.
He is favourite by the bookies
Okay,
to get. That, yeah, he's favourite to get revenge and avenge his defeat.
Yep.
He's looking good. He's looking good, and he's come in about 20 pounds lighter than the previous fight.
It looks well. It looks well.
So you think he's trying to go for a bit more speed? having come in 20 pounds lighter?
Yeah, more zip, lighter. Yeah, he's coming in a tremendous shape. Yeah.
I think that also is just a benefit of him being in camp for so long. He's not had that time away from camp to blow up, to get out of shape, and need to get back into shape.
And if Povetkin wasn't to win this rematch, do you think that's it for him? For his career?
I really would recommend, and I think he should. He's done enough. He's really has a legacy, and he's made money. This isn't that about money for him now. He desperately wants to win the belts that Joshua and Fury has, but unfortunately, like I said, age is not on his side, and those belts are tied up for the foreseeable future.
Are they doing the national anthem? Yes, they're just doing the national anthems now. Which is nice, because the crowd are there to sing. James says, I bet he keeps his chin down this time. Yes, we do actually need to talk about the fact that that Whyte has brought in a new trainer to his team, who helped Lennox Lewis. He co-trained Lennox Lewis in his time. How important is it that you think that Dillian Whyte has really added to his training team since the previous fight?
Yeah, I think that's a very, very smart thing to do, because if you remember, he changed coaches prior to the Povetkin fight, the first Povetkin fight.
Because he was with Mark Tibbs before that.
Absolutely, yeah. Which is a winning coach. He's never lost a fight on the mark, and to do that, and then you question, did he do the right thing by bringing in a relatively inexperienced coach at this level, whom I know very, very well, Xavier Miller, which is an unfortunate introduction for the coach. Yeah, it's a big job. It's a big job. And I've spoken to him a couple of days ago, and to reassure him, have belief, have confidence, stay calm, and to bring the already established, experienced coach, Mr. Knight.
Yeah, Harold Knight. Yeah,
they brought in. It's a smart move, because that will stabilize where Xavier not being so experienced. Mr. Knight will bring that experience, and that's all they need. They've got a very good team there.
Yeah, because it's obviously Harold Knight is so experienced, and he co-trained Lennox Lewis, but also helped him in his rematch, and it's just bringing the sort of experience that specifically Whyte needs for this fight.
He's experienced on the night as well, knowing what to say in the corner, having the confidence to be in the corner, and wants to reassure Dylan if he has a bad round. I think now it's a massive positive for him.
Yeah, people are asking how many fans that are there. We think there's 500. Before the fight, there's meant to be 500 there. You said the venue can take 1,500.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks quite full, but we thought there was 500, so we're not 100%.
It might be the 500 fans, and then the rest of the boxers
and the crew.
Yeah, and everyone who's there.
About 300 people over, so if it's them as well.
Yeah, where's everyone watching this from? Let us know.
This could be over in one. It could be that kind of fight. Yeah. Because Dylan, I think it's just.
Someone said London. Not far. Not far. This is it. The main event is happening. The rematch between Alexander Povetkin and Dillian Whyte. Someone watching from Dubai. Lovely. Michael said, if Whyte wins tonight, will he go on to win the world title? What do you think?
When the belts have been relinquished or surrendered or comes available, the super champions who are Joshua and Anthony Joshua, but like I said, it depends. He can win a regular world title 100% in the next pool of heavyweights worldwide. He's good enough to what he has shown to date to win the regular title. Like I said, those are the main belts, the WBC, IB or WB or
all the
WBA.
alphabets.
They're all being held at ransom at the moment as we speak, and they will not be available for the foreseeable future, 24 to 36 months. So yes, he got the ability to become a world champion as a super champion, but those belts are being held at ransom at the moment.
Someone's watching from the Philippines. Someone from Cardiff, North Wales. Someone's watching from Serbia, Russia. People all over. Hello. Are you Welsh, Harry? Have you got a connection to Wales? No.
No, my partner's Welsh.
Okay. Because I'm from Wales as well. So I thought the comments are from people who you said they knew you earlier.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, someone from Norfolk in England. Right, so they're just about to get going. Oh, someone's from Lanzarote. Oh, jealous. Cork and Ireland. People are all over. Right, round one. Off we go.
Good job.
Martin from Moscow. Hello.
Ooh.
So
Fight
Whyte's going
Fight
for it
done.
already. Oh, Povetkin looks like he's
almost
gone
punched
already.
out the ring then.
Good shot.
He's lost his balance completely.
Oh, if
Good-
that came home,
good
that
job
would have been
by Whyte,
curtains for
it was.
Povetkin.
Whyte's definitely come back with his old aggression.
Povetkin's hurt already.
Oh, oh.
This fight's not going to go long.
Nah, this
No,
fight.
it's not.
There. Good shot, Whyte.
He's starting off aggressively, isn't he,
Yeah.
Whyte? He's
Good shot.
I thought they'd start off a lot cagier than this. It's
Yeah, so I'll be honest with you, I didn't expect to see. Whyte initiated it. Oh.
I think it's the right mentality for Whyte to come out with.
Good shot.
Was Povetkin hurt or off balance? Both. Both. Thanks, Martin. That's very kind.
Oh, good counter.
Yeah, it looks like Dillian wants a quick finish.
Yeah.
That is for sure.
Oh, shit.
People are saying Dillian's going to be gassed. He has to be careful if he doesn't stop him, and he's fighting like that. That
Yeah.
he doesn't get
go long enough for him to get gassed.
Yeah.
Thanks, Paul. Alex says if he doesn't get him out early, could be bad news later in the fight.
It's only one round, but I feel like Povetkin's already taken a shot better in this fight than he did in the first fight.
Yeah, yeah. They were like glancing sort of blows. Okay, that was bang on the chin.
It's a pullback right hand in the last minute of the first round. Povetkin took it clean. I think in the first fight that would have put him down.
Yeah, it's true.
Your mum and dad are proud, they're saying.
Thanks, guys.
So would you say that obviously Whyte had that first round?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Into round 2. People are saying they think Dillian's going to gas out.
Good job.
He varies that jab from body to head. Right hand over the top.
Yeah, Whyte seems to have slowed down a bit in this round.
Which is a sensible thing to do. Don't get him involved in a brawl because he will get caught by Povetkin. He puts punches together very well.
Povetkin looks more out of shape this time round than he did last time.
He always looks kind of, he's not, it doesn't have definition.
He looks strong.
Good shot. Yeah, using his feet much better at Whyte. No, you don't want to let him get in there. You got a good enough jab to keep him away. Keep popping the jab. Feint jab.
Someone said Povetkin's got a good chin, as we've seen in previous fights, so Dillian must be careful. It's true. Someone said Povetkin's definitely lost muscle this time. He still just always looks strong, Povetkin, doesn't he? Always.
Good shot, Dylan. See, that's what you don't want to do, Dylan. Don't let him come into that territory. That's his territory.
How's it looking? Is Povetkin looking like a possible winner? Not at this stage, but anything can happen.
Good job. Oh, I don't know why you just don't keep...
Povetkin's 41, but yes, we'll give him a break. He still looks strong, we said. Would you give that to Whyte?
Yeah. He won it again.
I think neither guy has come here to do the do the full
do the
round.
distance, yeah.
And both looking out for a knockout.
The intent is for a finish.
Yeah, it's they're wanting to end this quickly. Povetkin seems to have success when Dillian gets too close to him, doesn't he?
Yeah, I would say he's a better inside fighter than Whyte. Whyte needs to keep it relatively long to mid-range and nothing close range.
Whyte's got a massive reach advantage. He just needs to
has.
use it.
Yeah.
People are saying this is a similar fight to last time,
Yeah.
except Whyte had him down, so he needs to be careful. He does. Right, on to round 3. Let us know if Povetkin is landing anything. He's landing some.
Povetkin, oh yeah, he's in there. He's in the fight. Concentration got to be key here for Whyte. Really has to concentrate, don't switch off. You need to jab some more.
Oh,
That was a slip.
there's a slip.
That's a slip, yeah.
Whyte was down, but it was a slip.
Oh, that's the one. He's hurt.
Yeah,
That's a
so
good shot.
Whyte landed a great shot then. Povetkin does
ready
look
to
hurt.
go.
Yeah, he looks hurt.
Jab, Whyte. Jab, jab.
Whyte needs to do a bit more when he's hurt.
I know Dylan's been cautious, but he should have jumped on him a bit.
Yeah, he needs to do a bit more when he hurts him, doesn't he?
Good jab. Let him fall in. Let him fall in. Use your feet. Let him fall in. Good.
How's the score? We've got the first 2 rounds to Whyte so far. We're into round 3 now.
That's my shot. Good. Yeah, more often.
Do you think Whyte is being more careful, or do you think he's
100%.
he's just
The
slowing
good shot.
down? See, every time Whyte gets him a little bit hurt, he doesn't go in again.
He doesn't, because he's learnt from the first fight. Yeah.
Another round to Dillian Whyte.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
He won
easy.
that round, yeah.
I don't think there's many heavyweights out there that can take a flush right hand like Povetkin took in that round.
Yeah, because Povetkin was hurt a few times in that round.
Oh, he went to throw his own right. And
Right hand just
good
stopped
shot.
Povetkin.
Yeah, it's a great right hand from Whyte. Brad said Whyte needs to stop leaning in with his head. Do you think that's what he's doing?
Mm.
What apparently Brad said Whyte needs to stop leaning in with his head.
In the position, he just landed a beautiful right hand with leaning with his head. He just needs to jab some more. Don't let Povetkin into a certain territory. He's fighting the right fight at the moment. He just needs to just stay switched on.
Yeah, keep that concentration. Right, we're into the 4th round
Povetkin
now.
wants to touch gloves every round.
And that's what caught Whyte out a little bit in the first fight.
Oh, he's gone. That's it.
Povetkin doesn't look good. Although he is fighting back.
I don't know how Povetkin still stood up.
He just doesn't seem to be affected by any shot.
You don't want to do that too premature till he's ready to go, mate. You did hurt him, but don't make sure he's totally hurt. Don't let him in there. That's where he hurt you last time.
Yeah, Povetkin saying people are saying Povetkin's a warrior.
See that? That's just a jab.
Never
Then
seen a
that's why it's a
fighter
little
able
bit-
to take a shot and stay up.
That's why the defence is a little bit sharper when Povetkin gets in closer compared to the last fight.
Yeah. Oh, don't do that.
Someone said who's taller out of the two. Whyte
Whyte
is
is,
2
yeah.
inches taller. People are saying this is going to end the same as the first fight. Here comes another left uppercut. Whyte does need to be careful.
Good shot.
Yeah, Dillian does need to keep his concentration. Absolutely.
Oh, beautiful. Good shot.
Okay, good shot from Dillian, and Povetkin's
Done.
very all over the place. He's
Done.
down. Povetkin's down.
Done. He'll get up from it.
Povetkin, I don't know if he will get up. Oh, he's not.
Yeah.
No, that's it, over.
Well done.
Povetkin
Yes.
has been stopped.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
So Dillian Whyte has got the win.
Yes.
Punch perfect performance.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Yes. What round was that? 5?
So Dillian's got a stall.
That was 5, wasn't it?
Povetkin. I think it was 5. Is that what you said? No.
Round 4, I think it was.
Yeah, okay.
Was that round 4?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Dillian just got a stool for Povetkin to sit
Oh,
on.
yeah, he did that because he always sits on a tall stool.
Thanks, Brad. See you next time. Yeah. Dillian's squirting water on his head. That's good sportsmanship from Dillian
Very
Whyte.
good sportsmanship.
Yeah.
Very good. The team are very happy with that. We need to see the replay so we can see exactly what shot put him down. Great in front of all the crowd.
He's a warrior, Povetkin.
How he didn't go
Very
down.
tough man.
How he didn't go down before that. I
He's a
know.
warrior.
Very good. So, would you like to see Povetkin step away now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
Really and
achieved what
truly
we can
should.
achieve.
It should.
We're just waiting to see the replay.
Replay, see what
So we
Whyte
can
says.
See what happened. Someone said who won. Dillian Whyte won. Convincingly. Round 4. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Seconds Out YouTube channel. Subscribe. There's stuff going up every day. Interviews, predictions, all sorts. So we're just watching the replay now. So just talk us through this, Dom.
Yeah, well, that's straight down the pipe, you know, basic stuff. Oh, left hook finish.
Povetkin was all over the place even before that left hook, wasn't he?
Very unsteady legs, and the corner just threw the towel in there. They know their man, good finish, good patience, performance. Dylan Whyte saw in patches, he lost his discipline in patches. That was always the danger. Could he keep his discipline for the duration of the fight? That was always key for me. But he did. The team has got there, managed to give him the right instruction, the right preparation. Bang, bang. That's his money shot. That's his actually favorite shot, his left hook.
Yeah, it was a very good finish from.
Yeah, he won every round and stopped his guy.
He was going for that stoppage from the first bell, wasn't he?
Yeah, he wanted a quicker stoppage.
Yeah.
Povetkin is a very tough man. You got to give it to him, you know. At the age of what, 42?
41.
41. I mean, to be competing with these youngsters.
It was a lovely, fast 1-2 to start that knockout.
Yeah.
Just simple combination.
Yeah, people were saying Povetkin's a warrior.
Oh, look at that. The stool.
Yeah, Whyte taking his
That's
stool
a gentleman
over.
thing to do. Well done. He's changing his bad ways.
Yeah, before
Reborn.
the fight, Povetkin said that he thinks that Dillian was nicer. He was a nicer version of himself.
Yeah, that's what you got to be in life. It doesn't cost to be nice. Because he refused to shake Povetkin's hand.
Yeah, he did.
In the way,
First
fight.
time, yeah.
This time he shook
He
his
did,
hand.
yeah.
Respect.
People saying Whyte and Wilder, very similar fighters, would be a good fight.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight.
Be a brilliant fight.
If that happens, that would be very good. Paul says good night, guys. See you soon, Harry. Thanks, Paul. Dillian does seem like a nice bloke. He's just getting confirmation of the win. Yeah, they look very amicable now.
Yeah, it's good.
Which is nice. And then he's got that belt.
He's saying that's a different belt to one I had last time. They've adjusted it. Yeah, yeah, there's something wrong with the belt. He's not happy with that belt.
Why? What does he think
There's
is
a
wrong with
possibility
it?
that's not the original belt that he
Had. He
they
wants
might
his,
have,
he wants his one.
Yeah, he wants his former belt. Music. AC/DC.
Respect Whyte. Whyte versus Ruiz will be next. Would you prefer Whyte versus Wilder as opposed to Whyte versus Ruiz?
Yeah, yeah, because the reason being Wilder's like froze him out for a long time.
Yeah.
And he was main culprit for Dylan Whyte waiting so long and having every fight he chose to fight whilst he was waiting was a very dangerous fight. And it was main cause of that is by Deontay Wilder. You know?
Someone said, was there a big crowd? We think there was 500 fans, local fans, and then as we think about 300 or so from the actual
Personnels,
setup.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, not big in normal life, but big for what we've been seeing. Yeah. Not
I wonder if they're going to. They must interview him, surely.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Yeah, we'll wait to see him get interviewed. But that's all we've got time for on this live. But thank you all for joining us, and thank you two for joining me in the studio. It's been great having you.
Pleasure.
Great night of boxing. Great to see Dillian Whyte get the revenge. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we will see you on the next live watch along. Thanks for joining us.